One time for the one
One
time.
time for the one time. It's the family bloodline. Family bloodline.
Yeah,
Oh,
we back, cuz we back.
what do you do, Cuzzo?
You got it, you got it, you got it.
Two kids crazy.
It's cold. It's cold everywhere, as a matter
Crazy.
of fact. And I'm not digging it so much. But, it is what it is. We're gonna make it through this cold spell. It's hella cold out here. We've been in like the low teens for a minute, for a few days here.
Yeah, yeah.
So what about y'all? Where y'all been? Did y'all get snow today?
No, we got a little snow last night. Look, from like 10 o'clock to about 4 o'clock this morning it snowed. You know
Okay.
what I'm saying? But that's it. We dealing with it. Midwest weather, you know what I'm saying? St. Louis weather as well, you know what I'm saying? It's a little bit different. I know
That's
every state probably got a little difference today, terrain and everything, but ours a little different, you know what I'm saying?
right. Right. Yeah, we got some freezing stuff happening, and it was a lot of, I don't know what the hell happened outside. I just went to sleep. And then I woke up to a whole bunch of wind going crazy, and I was like, man, damn all this. I'm going back to sleep. I'm going back to sleep. Then
Yeah,
so we ended up working from the house today, which was a good look because I'm scared of these people that be out here driving that ain't grew up in inclement weather. I'm scared
that's
of
all
them.
different. That's a whole different topic right there.
Right.
Whole different subject.
Right. They need to
You
keep
know what
their
I'm
asses
saying?
indoors. Man, for
We take
sure.
us, I hear you.
Oh, I said, yeah, for sure.
Oh, okay,
For
okay.
sure. Yeah. So I know a lot of people want us to hop right into the topics. So let's get there. Let's get there. But let's start it off with the playoffs. Let's
Yes,
start
yes,
off with
yes.
the playoffs. Huh?
Yes, yes. Let's start there.
Yeah, who we got, cuz?
3 o'clock tomorrow we got the Texans versus the Ravens.
Okay.
Who
All
you
right.
got?
Texans versus the Ravens. I I bet y'all know who Wanda would pick too, because we'd both be picking the Ravens.
Mm, that's where you going?
That's where I'm at.
I'm gonna go with the upset.
Straight?
I'm gonna take the text. I'm gonna take the text.
Mm.
You heard it here first.
All right, for sure. For sure. Who
All
else we
right,
got?
then the primetime game, you got the Packers versus 49ers.
And this ain't even my squad for real, but I'm going to rock with the 49ers. I'm gonna rock with them guys this round.
Okay, okay.
I
George
am.
Blood and Monster been looking good. They've been doing their little thing. But I'm gonna go with the 49ers as well. I'm gonna take the 49ers.
Yeah. You going with 49ers too, huh?
Yeah, I'm gonna take them too.
All right. And then
All right.
Sunday, who we got Sunday?
Uh, I done flipped the page. That's what I'm saying. I got right back to the notes. Sunday we got the Buccaneers. We got the Buccaneers at the Lions. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm going Lions. I'm going with the
Yeah,
Lions.
I'm gonna take the Lions too. Yeah, I'm gonna take the Lions. And then we got the Chiefs
What? The
versus
who?
the Bills.
The Chiefs?
Oh man, you heard me first time, man. If you can hunt, you can herd. You heard me what your parents just say?
I'm rocking with the Chiefs, cuz.
For sure, for sure. Ooh, I'm gonna have to take the Bills, Jig.
Word?
I'm gonna take the Bills at home, yeah.
Wow.
But you thought I was
Wow.
gonna come on y'all side just because, you know what I'm saying? Y'all
Just like
rivals,
that.
bro. Like that,
Just like that.
man. Put Wanda down for the Chiefs too, man.
Of course,
Just
Wanda, put her
'cause.
down. She ain't here
Uh,
tonight, but put her down. She
right.
gonna
I
rock
put Wanda
tonight.
down for the Chiefs too.
Mm-hmm. That's jacked up. I can't
Yeah.
believe that.
I got roll with the Bills Mafia, man. I can see what the boys do. You know what I'm
Wow.
saying? We got to see y'all again next year. So,
All right. All right. The Red, what's up, family? We still up on we on Insta. We live on Instagram as well. We live on TikTok and all the other platforms that we got going on. So I will post the link in the chats of the various different rooms. So if you want to hop up on this podcast, by all means, you'll be able to click the link so you can rock with us. So let's run into our topics, cuz let's get the elephant in the room out the way. So we are without Wanda tonight, your favorite homegirl on the podcast. She had another event this evening. So we wish her well and stay warm out there, cuzzo, and good luck to look cuzzo. You
safe
know,
travel as well.
always safe travels. And so the original topic that we set out for was give me 1 second. I'm trying to make sure I get this link posted. But the original topic that we had set out was single women and married women conversations. And the reason why we had that is because we saw a picture. This was one of Wanda's topics because we saw a, a married woman who had a picture. If you didn't see the actual, yeah, you missed football, schmutball, but big bro, you missed it. You missed it. We just ran through the pics, man. Uh, a married woman who had on a little outfit or whatever and took a picture, and the caption was saying something about you're a married woman, you should not be out here posting thirst traps, that type of stuff. So instead of just focusing it on women, right, I think we should push past that just a little bit and just say single people who ain't never been married, why the fuck are y'all trying to occupy married people's spaces? That's a question. Oh, sir said he ready tonight. You ready tonight? All right. So we gonna talk about that. We're gonna hit on that. And then we're gonna hit on coffee dates.
Coffee dates.
Yeah, coffee dates to see
Damn, am I cheap because I take you on a coffee date, or
question.
is the coffee date just not a good look on the first date? You know what I'm
That's
saying? So
look. And if there are any young ladies who need to hear a message from men, tonight is the night to listen to us. I promise. We ain't gonna steer you wrong, give you a little bit of the game. That way you can be a bit wiser in your approach to these things because y'all fucking up. I'm just, I'm just
and I'm about to pull up another one so I can be honest with y'all even more tonight. So
right, right. But I just yeah, we ain't gonna we gonna get off the soapbox from the women for a little bit and just ask the question. Single people who had never been married. First off, cuz, let me know what you think. Do you think that it is appropriate for single people to give married people advice? And should married people go and seek single people? When I talk about single people, I'm talking about those folks that ain't never been married, never been engaged, any of that. Should they be getting the advice from from those friends on how to manage their relationship? What you think?
no, to a certain extent, you know what I'm saying? Because some people in every topic got a great view. You know what I'm saying? Somebody come from a great point of view. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you need to think outside the box of your marriage as well. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that you're going against it, but or gaining an ideal that's gonna gain it's gonna make you go against your wife or anything, but just thought conversation. You know what I'm saying? So a single person does have great opinions, but when you flip it back to them, they don't have this. They can't reciprocate the same conversation. You know what I'm saying? Because they used to being single. They don't know how to deal with an individual. They don't know how to give and you know what I'm saying, sometimes let things go, you know what I'm saying? Because they're not just thinking about themselves, you know, you're not thinking about yourself at that point.
So
I
what do
think
you
some
if
go ahead.
you think with your single from when you were a single man, and I don't even want to just call it street meet, but you actually dating and so on and so forth. What's the difference between where you were then versus where you are now as a married man?
My commitment pretty much. You know what I'm saying? You committed at that point to certain situations, certain obligations at that point. Whether you it might not be a kid, y'all might share a dog, you know what I'm saying? It's certain obligations in that household that individual he getting to go home by himself every night. You know what I'm saying? Or whoever he chooses to be with at that night.
Okay.
Me as a married man, I gotta come home to the same individual every night. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying, we gotta judge our lives and our morals based off of what we do, how we move. You know what I'm saying?
So and now I'm just poking because I'm trying to
Talk
figure
to
something out. I'm getting somewhere. Oh, we got an early guest.
oh,
Come on, big bro. We got you. We got you. Yeah, because you're a single guy. So, this your opinion
oh,
absolutely
we a
matters, big.
single guy. I thought you
Yeah.
was a married man.
What you
With,
got, big
with,
bro?
no, Dirt. Boy, Dirt launched a rocket when he said, there's certain dynamics of a marriage that single people have no business commenting on if they've
Hmm.
never been married. However, if we're simply offering a point of common sense, right?
Okay.
Uh, so it's like if you walk outside, Jay, without your shirt on, and your wife in the house, and I say, man, look, you need to go back in the house and put on a shirt. I can get into that, but if you and your wife sitting at the table talking about financial business, I be in the garage with Bubby shooting the hoop because I ain't got nothing to do with that.
Right.
I don't have it.
Right.
I shouldn't even put my mouth even near that conversation,
Okay.
when it deals with the intricate parts of being married, but common sense stuff, like stuff you can call Uncle Ed about. You can call it, hey, hey, what should I do about this? When plus Uncle is married, how I'm just saying he's a good person
Yeah.
who you could involve in some common sense conversation, even if you're a married person. I would
Right.
trust him even if he wasn't married to give me some good sensible advice. So it's some realms of a marriage that your good friends can assist you in. But as far as trying to direct and guide married
Yeah.
people, and you've never been married, I don't think that's a good look.
And that's
Yeah,
what I was getting at, because like my single partner gonna move a certain way that I'm not necessarily gonna move. You see what I'm saying? In a situation, you know
exactly.
what I'm saying? He gonna tell me how I need to approach a woman. I can't approach my woman like that, bro, and expect you know what I'm saying, things to be
Exactly.
cordial and not, you know what I'm saying? So it's
Exactly.
Totally
like
different
certain
outcome.
yeah, so it's like certain situations that I gotta give and take. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I
Right.
hear you, but now I know good goddamn well I'm not moving like that when I get home. You see what I'm saying? So
Right.
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 Exactly.
Everybody tough, when they're away from the bully. But not,
Yeah.
and I'm not calling people
correct.
significant others fucking bullies. That's not what I'm
Right.
But
saying.
Right.
I'm
but
just
Right.
simply saying that
but
everybody tough
correct.
when they're away from the bully. But when that situation presents itself, it takes on a completely different person. You
Right.
conform to become a completely different animal. And I,
Right.
I think you should in a sense, right? Let me clarify this a little bit because I don't want this to get lost in the sauce, right? If you're a man, you always stand on your word, right? But it's easier to use somebody as a soundboard and bounce and somebody be like, hey, you need to calm down with that a little bit. I don't think that shit
Right.
gonna work, bro. That
Right.
ain't gonna fly.
Correct.
Um,
Right.
and then
Right.
you get back into that space with your partner, and like you said, you have to engage in that situation a bit differently and maneuver a little differently as well. You can't be
Absolutely.
as tough or as abrasive, because we men can communicate with each other in a different fashion than we communicate with women. That's across the board for the most part. You know, you got those special cases where some people think that it's different. However, it's not. Um,
Yeah.
so 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 when we converse with each other, right, the lingo that we use and the jargon that we're spitting, it'll sound different, and we can be a bit more aggressive. We can be a bit more abrasive when again it's a soundboarding process. But when we engage with our partner, it has to be from a different angle of actually listening to understand and not listening to be uh, in fisticuffs.
Right.
And I think that's the difference. But when it comes to single people, and let me specify, right? Because I don't want to cross I don't want to cross too many different paths here. But when it comes to single people who have never been married, jumping into married people conversations, I agree with you, big bro. There's a huge contrast of areas that you should actually be putting your weight in on with your buddies, because some of the shit you say might end up making or influencing the situation to deteriorate faster than what it should, because you don't have any experience being in that exact situation, right? So that's my take on it. Now, what do y'all think about people who have been married before giving advice uh to married people, if that's a thing?
Watch Dirt. I
Like
can't wait. Dirt finna lay it down.
I was just gonna ask a question, like being divorced like a couple times, or just
Well,
so you
so let's start with the once over, and then we can
what's
we
up?
can work our way forward from there.
Okay, so the situation might not have worked out the first time. You and your spouse, y'all, you know what I'm saying, might have been young love, might have been you. You might have been clubbing too much. It might have been anything, you know what I'm saying? Y'all just didn't resonate like y'all thought y'all were, you know what I'm saying?
So
Second, third time, go speak,
yeah,
speak, speak. Let's
I,
first
I
time.
was
We
about
said
to
first
ask.
time.
So do you think it relevant for a person who's been divorced to begin to, I don't want to say, but do you think it appropriate for a person who's been divorced to give married people, and again, I'm just simply talking about the once over, to
Uh
give married people that
you
form of
live
advice?
I think that was just like a learning experience, you know what I'm saying? Pretty much. You know what I'm saying? I could say the first time. It's just like a first relationship. But that first marriage is like it's way more than your first relationship. It's the first real commitment that you gave to anybody. You gave your all. She supposedly have gave her all. It didn't work.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
first time.
And I heard a guy say on TikTok, they said no. User said no. So I heard a guy, uh, this is how it was summed up to me when I was going through my divorce. He said, "Hey, everybody has to have a starter.
See, I wouldn't say
Everybody
it
has
like
to
that. I
have
wouldn't say it like that, but
a starter."
what?
I'm just saying.
So,
Go ahead, sir.
what
Uh,
you got, bro?
not that
Wanda, is
I'm.
that you? My bad, sir.
No,
Wanda, is that you on here?
it's all good.
Yep, that's her.
Expensive is Wanda.
Yeah,
um,
Wanda in the comments,
Um,
everybody.
is she awesome? Um, not that I'm more centered, right? So here's the
Mhm.
thing. And I just want to briefly backtrack, and this is one of the main reasons why single people should avoid imposing themselves in marriage spaces, is because when you're giving advice to whichever of the spouses, it is impossible for one individual to be able to calculate and account for the other person's involvement based on. So when Dirk is thinking about his wife, he has to consider her emotional, mental, spiritual, financial. He has to consider all these states, right? And when single people are attempting to counsel married people, right, it is
Uh-huh.
impossible to be able to navigate through both of those responsibilities. See, Dirk no longer thinks about just himself. He has
Right.
to always, and I'm not, and this is just a hypothetical, whether he likes it or not, he has to always include mama in the equation.
Sure.
So a single person doesn't have the capacity to be able to, calculate the ramifications of both of that, dual involvement. So that's another reason why single people should stay from attempting to guide and counsel married people. Now, as far as
Let me
married,
ask you this. Give me
uh huh,
let me pause out real quick, good bro. Let me ask you this because as you were saying that, I'm dying on this car ride. Why do you silly?
I'll
But
write the stuff
so
down.
so does that also move into the what's going on, Swift? The realm of clergy, because there are a lot of single clergy who express themselves to be qualified to counsel married couples, but have never had that experience, aren't going through that experience, and are probably years away from sharing in that actual movement of life.
that is a amazing question.
Yeah.
Uh, Amazing question. With the exception of this, because see,
Wait a
me
minute,
and
wait a minute, wait a minute. Wait, I about to say break it down to the common folks like myself.
yeah, yeah. So this is the one thing that kind of separates, if you will, the professional class, right? And they get probably an inch of leeway, is because some pastors and therapists who may have not been married have actually had training, right?
Hmm.
Have actually had training to not be biased and to seek seek the best good for both people, right? So if a clergyman is counseling a brother spiritually, right, I believe his focus, his training should lead him or her, right, to focus on and help the couple create harmony, right? That's what the training leads you to insert harmonious antidotes into this marriage so that it can thrive. It's kind of like a gardener, right? So
Right.
that's the only exception. Now then it becomes down to preference. If Dirk prefers to go to a therapist who is married because he's more comfortable receiving that information, you can't get mad at him for that. But that doesn't discount the therapist in their training, right? Who is
Mhm.
trained to help you. And that's all subjective, right? Because
I got you.
yes, it's you can make a decision on where you want to go. Now, untrained people, we're not going to even talk about them, and I'm glad you said it. I'm gonna be quiet real quick. Married people who have been married are just like doctors, right? They have reached the qualifications to where they can speak on something that they have lived. Now, whether the information or advice is sound or not is something entirely different. It's just like a
Sure.
doctor. It's a lot of doctors who have their diploma, but they're not qualified in actual real life situations. And those are the
Right.
doctors we don't go to or we steer away from. Same thing it is with married people who've been married before. If their information is sound, then of course, it's something to be looked towards, in receiving if they have signed information. But if they don't, then you just discard it.
Right. Okay. Got you, bro.
Okay. Okay. Let me read Swift's comment real quick. If the only long term relationship the advice he has ever had is with their partners or siblings, I doubt I'm seriously considering their opinion.
Hmm.
So Isaac, to
Okay.
that question again, how do you talk that point with people who have gone through training for that, with your psychologists, with your marriage counselors, with your specialized uh people, as it were? How do you qualify how do you qualify that or quantify that with that statement? Because there are therapists that are single that are in marriage counseling and very young. I'm not sure how well they do it because, quite honestly, I don't think I would seek out a counselor who hasn't gone through or traveled a similar path. That's just me personally. But how do you
Exactly.
quantify that? Because do you, at that point, are you stripping away their qualifications or their training, or because again, this is a bit of a subjective thing. Because personally, I wouldn't do it. Right? That doesn't mean that their objective training isn't relevant in that situation, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I
Isaac,
think
come on
it's.
up, man. You can hop on,
think
bro.
I think it's like you say, give them the words you just said right there. Training. You know what I'm saying? They are trained. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people go through training, but until you getting put into a situation or in the field for it's like training. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people can't withstand that. You know what I'm saying? So I would never go to, like you said, I would never speak to someone that has never been through that training. You know what I'm saying? You judging, I mean, not judging me, but you asking me my mental state or my physical, you know what I'm saying, my all my emotions at this time. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
How am I speaking that to somebody that ain't never been cheated on, or nobody that never cheated on somebody, or nobody that never, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, in a marriage situation. So how can you speak to me on that level? You see what I'm saying? So, because what you telling me or what you trying to get out of me, like you say, my man home ain't hearing that. You see what I'm saying? So it's still a whole different ramification of what you are trained to do, as opposed to what I'm speaking on. I'm speaking on facts. I'm speaking on something I genuinely,
Experience.
yeah,
Right.
went through. So,
No
And
question.
yeah.
No, I was just in full agreement. You
Oh
know,
yeah.
so
So,
do we think as a single person, should our single partners just pretty much be an earth for us? Just sit back and listen to us vent about our marital situation, or should they offer advice? I think that still hasn't been,
that's a damn
you know
good
what I'm
question.
saying?
well, Dirk, you and I know, and James as well. We all know it's something, and I can't explain it, and we're not here to do that. But when we hear truth, I'm talking about pure truth or real talk, as we call it.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
It's some mechanism inside us that allows us to know that what is being told to us makes sense and it's good. You know, it will be a good practice, right? I know that I have a sensitivity to detect that type of, atmosphere in the conversation, right? So we know when we're hearing good information that makes sense and it would mean us the best, right? So as far my whole thing is, as far as single person attempting to be a guide to a married person, right? Because on TikTok there's a lot of them. You got a lot of relationship
Oh my
experts.
God.
You got a lot of people on TikTok, right? That just have assumed to be the go-between between men and women, regardless of whatever color, in relationship issues. And my thing is that we know when we hear good information from our friends and our partners, right? We
gotcha,
know
gotcha.
when we hear something that makes sense because I'm gonna keep it 100. A good partner of yours won't be on your side because he's your partner. If you wrong, he gonna tell you that you wrong, man. You tripping, man. You know your wife a good girl, man. You out
Yeah.
here clowning,
Yeah,
fool.
that's the
Right,
other side. See, we
right,
didn't mention nothing like that.
right,
You know what I'm
right.
saying?
Right. When you hear people attempt to create some type of connectivity between your spouse and they start on the opposite side rather than the side that they're familiar with. Like if I'm talking to Dirt and I'm not even thinking about what Dirt talking about, but I'm trying to get Dirt to see what his wife is, her perspective. That's a good or not train. That's a good indicator, right? When somebody really,
Yeah,
really cares, right? Or,
like,
or they really trying to
saying,
help you. Because you don't
gotcha,
want to
gotcha.
create, you don't want to create allies when you're seeking information.
Okay, bro. So the statement reads, I think it depends on that. I think it depends on that single person's mindset, but you would know their mindset if there's someone you talk to on a regular. And I think that's what that's at the heart of what Sir was striking at,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because it's easy to take sides, right? Especially if we all have different biases. We go into various different situations with a specific bias towards it. And what I've learned how to do is begin to work my way out of those biases so I can see a clearer picture. But
Exactly.
when you go into those situations, the aim is to figure out where it's not about where your loyalties lie, because we're not testing loyalty at this point. We're not looking for likability. We're looking at objectivity, as it were, right? And an objective point of view, because there's always a side that we would present. We'll put our best foot forward, and it's always easier to give our side, especially when the other party is absent. But the goal when giving advisement is to read between the lines and actually get there and say, hey, bro, like, no, you should probably stand on your square with this one, because if you making $5,000 a month and your lady's spending uh 4,500 of it on Amazon, you ain't got no money for your bills, and y'all can't live like that. So
Right.
yeah, you know that's real. However, comma, if it comes down to being, yeah, y'all making $5,000 a month, your lady spending 25, you spending 23, that ain't just a her problem, that's a you problem too. You
Yeah.
know? So let's we I ain't gonna even address what your lady doing. Let's talk about you spending this $2,300 when you still got bills due and your babies ain't ate. Because
Yeah.
that's what I'm upset about
Make it
as a
make
friend and as
sense in
a
the
man.
household and
Right.
with your partners. You know what I'm saying? And they conversation. You
Absolutely.
know what I'm saying? Be real with
Yeah.
them, and they'll be honest with you. That's what we all expect at the end of the day. So yeah, I think yeah, valuable lesson.
And another earmark of good advice, period, whether it's for married or whatever the situation, right? Good advice is always characteristic of a person allowing you to see your similarities with your spouse
Hmm.
and seeking solutions, right?
Okay.
And seeking solutions to whatever it is that promote, that vindicates, for lack of a better word, both parties. That makes both, where at the end of the equation, both parties are satisfied, both parties are happy, both parties are wholesome, and both parties can, from this advice, move forward another notch towards something more harmonious and agreeable. So yeah, good advice is always characteristic of a person, allowing you to see the similarities in whatever it is you and your spouse have created, right? Offering a solution, and from that, being able to move forward from this advice, in a way where both people feel as if their issue or their problem has been addressed.
Man,
So I think
I
go ahead,
watched
because go ahead.
real short, cause I watched the interview today. Couple was married 87 years.
God,
The
golly.
gentleman was 103 and she was 100 years old. You know what I'm saying? And she was speaking on what you were saying, sir. It was Steve Harvey show. Steve Harvey asked about. He was
Oh
like,
Lord.
"So what's the understand?" But he asked. He was like, "What's the biggest thing of making a relationship last that long?" And the lady was like, just sitting down with each other, having a conversation. You know what I'm saying? Getting an understanding of each other. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's the biggest thing that made us last because we know who we are. We able to have these talks. You know what I'm saying? The conversation. So
Yeah. And I think what Keely's saying right here is very paramount to actually
Very.
whenever when you're speaking to uh your partners. So first off, your partner's gonna know you, right? There's not too many people I got around me in my life right now that I haven't known for the better part of 5 years, right? And so we know each other, we understand each other. That doesn't mean that they might do something that might catch me off guard, but that simply means that we've seen each other at various different stages and we understand that part of each other's character. But when she says when seeking advice, make sure you're transparent with what you're asking, that
Yes.
is paramount
Yes.
to the actual conversation. Because
Absolutely.
a lot of times, regardless of if you're married
Absolutely.
or single, whatever the relationship looks like, we are looking for someone to validate our angst, right? And to essentially move the onus off of us. That's what we're looking for. Let's be honest about it, because it's always easy to get that point of validation, and it feels a lot better to get that point of validation. It feels even better when someone says, yeah, we can move that target off for you, but let's find a common enemy so we can jump on them together. So I 100% agree with that comment, Caleb.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think
Keela
it's
hit the nail on the head with that one. She hit the nail on
yeah.
the head, because if you go seeking advice and you're not transparent, or you offer a solution in the area that's non-existent, it's simply like taking a Volkswagen to a Cadillac deal.
Okay.
You're not gonna be able to get no help, right?
no way.
Your Yeah, your
No way.
inability to be transparent is going to further frustrate the attempt to solve whatever breach or division has occurred, right? And also, you won't, be able to. I, I think one of the main things with, advice and situations between men and women is for each person to seek to become a better individual, right?
Mm,
So that whatever situation has arisen, that we both grow from it in as much love, consideration, compassion, and harmony as possible.
okay.
All too often, we seek to tell the truth without compassion, right? And compassion without truth becomes brutality. And
Indeed.
yeah, compassion without truth becomes brutality. So it should always be done. That's how you know when you're hearing good suggestions and advice, because it always focus you back on the importance of the unit, why the unit should exist, why it should thrive, why it should still be and remain and operate in its present, you know, in its present state as a unit. So yeah,
Yeah.
she hit that nail right on the head.
So let me read Swift's answer to my actual question from previous. Doctors can help treat heart disease without ever having a heart attack. Reading and studying allows us the ability to connect. Healthy relationships require honesty, transparency, and good communication, which may mean good advice is stating, I have no idea how to help you, but I'm here to listen. That's that's eloquently typed out, as it were.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That's
He
good.
dropping bombs tonight, boy.
That boy a
Yeah.
poet.
Yeah. So here's another
Healer,
question. So
Isaac.
so we are running past, and this was the foundation of that, possibly that single failure, or that partner that's there for you, whether it be single or not. But what do y'all think about taking advice from people who are on their third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, or eighth marriage? Where are we at with that? How do y'all feel about that?
Nah, it's you at that point, partner.
Yeah.
You gotta evaluate yourself, goddamn, bro. What? Nah, come on now.
so so I gotta play devil's advocate. I don't
I
know if
knew
y'all
it.
know
Hold
where
on.
devil's advocate came from. Yeah, we got you, sir. I don't know if y'all know if you knew where devil's advocate came from. But it's a very interesting. Yeah, they got experience. I'm looking at Instagram, and Heather and I are actually having a conversation on here. I wish she would come over to the podcast and hop on with us. But reading about the backstory of where the devil's advocate came from is a very interesting read. I highly recommend you look into it, do a little research on it, do some studying on it, because it will give you a better understanding as to why it's actually important in
Okay.
everyday movements. Having a devil's advocate is a great thing. um so talking about the movement of a person who has gone through several different failed marriages, right? Why are they not qualified to speak on it? And I'm not saying that it's not them, but I'm asking, why would they not be qualified? And I know it might sound a little bit easier than it
Look at
sounds
there.
easier to answer than what the question actually is demanding at the end of the day. But go ahead, Kazo. What you got?
No, just that. I thought you were finna take the mic. I was actually just like, no, they really at at a certain point. Come on, cuz like, all right, after the third one, your people looking at you like, all right, cuz fool me once, fool me twice. This cat get
Okay.
married again. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you gonna invite your people to a wedding, or you not. You know what I'm saying? You just move, you just out. You know what I'm saying? Like at
But
some
what if they
point, it's
simply
just
just haven't found the right one just yet? What if that's the process that they got to get through?
some people got bad luck. You sometimes you gotta
Right.
accept it. You know what I'm saying? You just attract bad women. You see what I'm saying? So when do you see what I'm saying?
Right,
It
but
still
you
comes
making more
back
of a
to
case from my point of devil's advocacy than what you are from the point of saying, "Hey, I'm a married man, and I'm not going to take advice from a person who's a seven, eighth time strikeout." You've been up to bat these many times. Your
correct.
your batting average ain't up to par, and you shouldn't be getting paid what you're getting paid. Why are you continuing in this profession? Right. So, but I'm asking, right? Is their experience not relevant to where you are? uh they might be, what's that, who's that, Teddy P, uh taking all the bumps and the bruises of a two-time loser, right? They might be there, but what if they simply trying to get there? And is it always their fault? Is that failure a part of their journey, part of their experience? Or what, can you not listen to them?
I think you
That's
try. I
all
think you
I'm
just
asking.
answered. I think you just answered that. You hear me? How many times you gonna get your head bumped upside the wall, bro, for you get it right? You see what I'm saying? Like I don't understand. Like it's like no at that point, cuz I think it's just I think you just. I think it's just you. I think it's just you. You see what I'm saying? Like
So you-
you have gave me like nothing that. So, sir, what are you doing? I mean, not no pun intended, but you know what I'm saying. What are you doing in that situation that you ain't found the right one? What are you looking for? Or your standards too high? Or you know what I'm saying? Or you abusive? Or you know what I'm saying? Or you not there in the relationship? Or what is the situation? Like it got to come back to the individual at some point. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to no, she wasn't right. She wasn't right. You know what I'm saying? She couldn't cook. She couldn't clean. She couldn't. At some point, you got to deal with a situation. You know what I'm saying? You got to deal with something. You got to. What do you know what I'm saying? Just because you might be financially the guy or the person, you know what I'm saying, don't mean that you don't have to deal with certain situations. You know what I'm saying? And that's all I get out of a person that's married 4 or 5 times. They just bouncing around trying to find a trophy wife or trying to find somebody that's or submissive or that's what I think about in them situations.
so go. You got something, sir?
So, at that point, it does for the individual who is in position to receive the advice, it becomes a point of preference, right? If you prefer to hear from a person like that. But from just the strength of the question, um, we as human beings, man, our minds, how we gauge and calculate success is really different. And I'm saying that to say, uh, people who see success numerically may not be inclined to take advice from you because they will see the multiple numbers of times you've been married, and it's a turnoff for them, right? But people who value experience or think as success, experience based, right? Because you know how they say in life, right? There really is no good or bad, right? Every opportunity is opportunity to learn something, right? So you have some people who see life in that spectrum and who will give the person who's been married multiple times an opportunity because they value their experience more so than they value or see success through the number of times that they've been married. Um, but no, I mean honestly, I don't believe it
Mm.
disqualifies a person, no matter how long they've been married. Me personally is what I'm saying because
Correct,
I
correct.
want to drink from their experiences, right? But see, we as humans, we don't. All of us don't see in that vein, right? Most
Right.
of us, most of us think, and I hate to say it, but most of our minds vibrate on a frequency of where we think of success in terms of time and numbers, right? Now, this particular anecdote could be applied to boxing because there are a lot of boxers who got their behinds whooped multiple times, one after another. But it was that one time when they was on their game and they end up becoming champions, you
Sure.
know. So that's why me personally, I don't gauge. Not saying anyone here does gauge success based on a numerical system,
Right.
right? Or thinking in terms of time in that aspect. But no, I don't think honestly it disqualifies a person from giving you advice. It comes down to preference. If you want to listen to somebody or
Yeah,
Mm,
and
not who's been
you just gonna
through
ride
that's
advice.
that fence all night. I'm just saying.
and that's kind of to Isaac's point, or Swift's point, and his comments reads, is it any different than a person that seriously dates a different person every 2 years? Or does the fact that it is a marriage take it to a different level of commitment, which is a great question. Does marriage mean the same thing to everyone? I know he knows a lot of miserable people that serial marry because they need the social status. The title of marriage does come with a very different social status when expressing it in different groups. It does come with a different privilege economically as well. So, the social economical aspect of saying that you are married carries a bit of a different movement of weight to it. Yes or no? Agree or disagree?
Man, it's
And
a
yes,
lot of
marriage
skinny
can
cat.
be.
It's a lot of skinny cats with getting fat girls right now because it's tax season when it come around. So single
Hey,
people,
Dirt,
you
why
know
did
what
I
I'm
know
saying?
you was gonna go there, Dirt?
I
Single
knew
people, you see
somebody
what I'm
had to
saying? So
say.
so
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. But when you take on a marriage, it's about commitment. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was. That's them the words that stuck out to me in his conversation when he said what he said. It was like commitment. You know what I'm saying? That's what you look like in a marriage. You know what I'm saying? And like you say, it's not about longevity, but it was like, what did you commit to that relationship? Like I say, I'm getting one side of the relationship. I'm getting, you know what I'm saying? So like I say, coming from someone that's been divorced that many times, it's still
You know, if you
that's
can, in talking to anybody about anything, right? If you can, like Keela said earlier, if you can get that person to be transparent, whether they're giving the advice or
I get
receiving the
back
advice,
to that.
right? Yeah, that makes for a good exchange of healthy, um, information. Because somebody that's been married 7 times because of who I am, while I don't hold that against them, I am interested in understanding why have you been married
yeah. How did
seven?
you get to this
How did
point?
you get to 7 marriages? And I would hope that the person will be honest and transparent,
Okay.
with me about that. One good thing, and I should have started off with this by thanking y'all for allowing me to share this space and time with y'all on the podcast. I need to be more mindful of that, right? But one good thing I knew about James when we really bonded is in college, right? He never took my side, Dirt. Initially, I mean, if I was right, I'm talking about if I was
This is true.
right, he was with
Yeah,
me. But
yeah.
when I was wrong, he did not co-sign anything, and he also laid on the table his frailty, or where he may have slipped in that area, or how he
Mhm.
felt about that area,
Yeah,
right? But
correct.
he never sought to inform me from a lofty position, right? It was always a even ground, and he never took my side, and that's why we friends still to this day, because I know he cared about my entire
I
being,
got
right?
you. I
Yeah,
understand.
he as a
Absolutely.
he didn't
That's
take
why,
my hey, but when
dude.
I was
Hey,
wrong, he
that's
would
why
let
I'm
me
like I
have
am
it.
today. That's why I'm like I am today because of this dude. We stood outside my uncle's
Hey,
house, and the police rolled down the street like,
Yeah,
"Boom,
'cause
boom,
we was
hello,
out there
okay." We was out
after.
there in the conversation. You know what I'm saying? This is who we are. So no, you ain't got never thank us for coming on, man. We appreciate you for coming on every time. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
Absolutely.
no
It's a
doubt.
Keith,
pleasure to
Isaac,
share with
all
you.
Yeah.
y'all for coming on
Hey,
each
hey,
week
when I
and
was wrong, Dirt.
doing
When I was wrong, Dirt. That's why I love him today. I'm talking about real
that's
love, man. That he would let me have it, and I became a better person
And ditto,
because
right?
because he did that.
It was yeah, it was reciprocated between the both of us. So and maybe one day me and you we can have we can cross that bridge and just go to a nostalgic area to where we how we ended up getting to where we are now.
Yeah,
Uh the journeys that we took, the experiences that we shared with each other and essentially tell that story because I don't
yeah,
it's something that people don't really they don't get, they don't understand how I can we don't have to talk for years.
right.
But when we connect, it's just like we just seen each other yesterday.
No
correct,
question. And,
correct.
and,
Right.
and and those are the type of people you want to involve in, getting advice from, listening to those people who have that deep, intimate connection with you, that want to see you operate at your highest good, and specifically if you married, right, want to promote the highest good of your marriage, right. Nine
Correct.
times out of ten, you I'm not going to tell anybody anything that is going to drive a wedge in a relationship. I like to see people together. I like to see people being able to exist
Yeah.
in love and harmony with, just a natural organic flow. I don't like a lot of confusion when it comes to relationships. I really don't. And that took time. That's over a period of time, brother. Cause I wasn't always this guy.
Shit, I'm gonna start matchmaking on her, bro. We gonna find you that special someone. You
Hey,
hear me?
Dirt, stop that.
You
Stop.
hear me? We gonna find you.
hey,
You genuine.
hey, Dirt.
We gonna find you that special someone. You
Hey,
genuine.
Dirt, don't. Hey, Dirt, you terrible.
Like,
That's why I fool with Dirt, man. That's why I fool with him.
We rock with y'all.
So
We love y'all.
I,
We
I,
appreciate y'all.
I want us to keep pushing this, and we can revisit this at another time, because I think what we're saying is ridiculously relevant, especially for men of character, as and young men, to teach them how to build that character or give them a bit of a pathway to get there. But the question that I got for y'all two brothers tonight, right now, right here, as we hang out, and this old Forester, accountability for show, this old Forester is sinking in with all these great teas that I got from Maya. If you meet a woman, a young lady, however you want to describe her, and you say to her, "Hey, I'm interested in you," you spit your game, and you say, "Hey, how let me know when you free. I would love to take you out for coffee. If you drink coffee, or I'd love to just go for a walk in the park, or I'd love to just hang around you, you know, and not get into an economical stance about it. I don't want to go out to eat. I just want to spend some time in the sun soaking up this vitamin D, right? Just getting this in. I'm gonna pause on that, but just sucking in the rays of the sun, right? I just want to do that. Let's just go for a walk. Let's converse. But she meets you with, well, you need to spend $140 on dinner for me. If you want my time, we need to go here. We need to go to a steak. I like steakhouses. What's y'all's response to these type of women?
Whoa. First of all, man, first date should be about get to know someone. I should be able to get to know you. Yeah. I'm like Keela, you should run. She might be a little psycho. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna wine and dine you on our first date. That's for someone that knows you. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
why
So
not? Why
why
not? I
not?
mean, if she willing to donate her time, why can't you donate some resources to that?
Because I'm doing the same thing. It's a mutual agreement. Well, it's to be mutual terms. I'm not thinking of what the other individual is thinking about. At this time, I'm just thinking about getting to know you. I don't know you. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I know your first name. You know what I'm saying? Your number. I don't know your last name. You know what I'm saying? So for me to go spend funds like that, I not already spent time with you. You know what I'm saying? It should be a low risk effort on that first date. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? I think.
Okay.
I leave it at that and let somebody else speak.
What you got, big bro?
I believe early in the dating process, right? And I think this is a general thing that we as people understand. On our initial first outing, right, there are a lot of ramifications that come along with that. Most sober-minded sisters will meet this person in a very public, open space, where they feel safe and comfortable,
Mhm.
and something that is not, you know, that doesn't give the atmosphere of familiarity because you don't know this person. Uh, so that's the one thing that should always guide when we go on these first dates, right? And I don't know. I hate the fact that living under this in this system has caused us to convert our thinking uh, to attach a dollar amount to our time when it comes to trying to connect with another human being, right? But the short answer simply is this: a first date, you don't want to be able to hide behind money, right? You want to get to know this person. This is about us, you know. And let me just say what it is: exchange for me to feel your energy, right? To get to know you. I'm getting to know you. This is a very, high profile Q&A session for both of us. The coffee house is just a medium for us to be able to do that.
It's a meet and
And
greet.
yeah,
First date, it's a meet and greet.
it's just the coffee house is just an object that you're using to facilitate me getting to know you. That's more important than the
Mm-hmm.
price of the stuff that we're buying, right? And if I was ever, approached in that manner where somebody told me, well, you need to take me to would you say $140 steakhouse,
140
right?
easily. Yeah.
Me being the grown up that I am, I mean, that's just where I'm at with it. I am going to respectfully, maturely decline that offer,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to seek uh
Go to the
companionship
steakhouse.
or
Yeah.
or company elsewhere, because that is so far from my intentional plan, right? I'm trying to get to know an individual, and you build up to those types of outings where you illustrate your appreciation for this person based on the level of sophistication of the of the entity that you visit. But for a initial first date, getting to know somebody, no, because it's too easy to hide behind money. Even the sucker who has bad intentions can fake a extravagant date and
Yeah.
still
Yeah.
not be standing on anything, right? So the coffee house or that environment, when you exclude the money, strips both people from being able to hide behind amounts and status and prestige, right? And the goal is to begin a relationship where you start to learn or reveal who the real people are. See, I don't want to have to find this out 10 years after I'm married to you, when the real people will come out.
Mm.
That should be the goal of both men and women, is to bring not no representative, is to introduce you to the real person, with all of my successes, with all of my failures, with all of my imperfections and all of that. You know.
Cause I'm be looking at the ambiance like, oh, wait a minute, look at the dim lighting. She's sucking down on the margaritas. You know what I'm saying? I'm on this Hennessy. Know what
Yeah.
time that?
Now
Know what
now
this number
mind you,
40 finna do?
we not finna pull up no milk crate at the food court outside. You know. Right.
Right.
I'm not no ogre,
You gonna
but
pour your own coffee? Like,
at the
girl, I brought
same
this special brew from the crib.
yeah,
So
you want to create dates and time where you get a chance to see a person's character. You do things where you can, let a person expose their character. You
yeah.
know,
And so I'm gonna read this statement from Instagram. It says, "Real women are going to see if you are financially responsible. If you spend that kind of money on a meal, no, not smart, not a smart move for looking for authenticity." And I don't not, that came from a woman, right? That didn't come from me. That came from a woman. And so this whole topic came about because I saw a video of a woman saying, "Well, I don't even like coffee." So a coffee date, no, you need to take me and do this, that, and the third. And it was justified because she's giving her time. And Dirt said it also. If we're meeting up together and you're spending your time, am I not spending mine? Right? Why does first off, what entitles someone else to my resources? That's the question. What entitlement do you have within that begs the stance of you need to give me your money if I'm going to be here? You don't women, let me say this, women, literally, you don't have anything that other women around you don't have as well. Y'all all got the same. You all got the same thing. And just as the same way that that man approached you, if you are giving off the movement of you have to spend your money to be with me, there's two things that he will quickly think. The first thing is, I can get this shit for $40 because that's what you've cheapened yourself to. Make no mistake about it. If you are going to tell me that in order for us to spend time together, I have to spend a specific amount of money, I don't need you. I can go get somebody who does this as a profession and keep money in my pocket. And I ain't even got to worry about the next day. because
Mhm.
she gonna leave that same night as soon as we finish conducting business. That becomes transactional. That's a transactional situation, right?
Now,
Go ahead,
I,
bro. Go ahead.
and I do believe in it. You know, it can be for either men or women, right? If a guy's interested in the young lady,
Yeah,
um, I believe I have the the strength of character to present my interest in a way that will completely disarm her from any of those types of suggestion. Because see, I'm trying to get to know the person, right?
mhm,
I'm, I mean, if it's about that now, I'm not an angel, and there have been some times in my experience and in my life where all I wanted was something physical from this person. But in the event, I was always upfront about that, right? But if this
right.
is somebody that I want to create a relationship with, right, an ongoing, consistent relationship with, then I'm going to convey to her, you know, in a way that's going to disarm her, hopefully, from that, because that's not what it's about. It's not about the amount of money that I'm spending, right? Money, secure finances never has translated to a stable or a solid character, is what I'm saying.
Absolutely. Yeah,
That's what I'm after, you know, in this particular situation, you know. Now, like I said, we're not gonna go pull up a milk crate at at the food truck. You
right.
know, when and if we do go somewhere, it's going to be a very nice place, but it's not going to be so nice in the sense that we're distracted from the main goal of me
Yeah,
telling you, look, I really like you, and I think that we can build something together, right?
yeah.
You know, even at a real important board meeting, they have light hors d'oeuvres. You don't get no steak dinners at no board meeting. You get light hors
Right.
d'oeuvres because the focus is on what y'all talking about, not the
Absolutely.
extravagance of what you know what's being provided for your creature comfort, right? So I believe a real guy will be able to convey that, you know, and I believe the spirit will direct you to a woman who will be receptive to that. Because when you meet them sisters who, you know, are just dead set and locked on that financial thing, that's a crimson flag anyway, champ.
I agreed. All
Crimson
day.
flag.
All day. Yeah.
Go ahead, Keela. You right, Keela.
Run.
I fools with Keela. Yeah, run.
Yeah. And that's for the young men that are going to hear this. Listen, if the woman, if the person, the young lady that you are trying to connect with, if she can't get past the paragraph where she's mentioning finances, don't do it. You never want to let golly, I'm trying to think about how to say this a bit more eloquent than what's going through my head because I got some savage shit going through my head right now.
No, you
And
don't. Stop it.
I just let it go. Uh if a motherfucker can't do for themselves what they're asking you to do for them, fuck them. Fuck them. That's the bottom line.
Oh,
If a motherfucker tell you to take them to Ruth Chris, I expect you to be able to tell me the dish that you like on Ruth Chris menu. That should be your fucking time going there.
Right.
That shouldn't you. I should not be introducing you to this place. If I got a motherfucker asking me to take them to Fuego de Chao, right? That means that you know that the lunch buffet is different than what it looks like at the dinner buffet, right? Don't ask me to spend some shit on you that you don't even take consideration for yourself to do for your. You don't even love yourself enough to go on a date by your lonesome to an expensive fucking restaurant. I have sat in high. I'm not gonna say the names of them. I've sat in high dollar restaurants to where I've spent upwards $250, $300 by myself enjoying a steak dinner. And if somebody has the fortitude to tell me the only way you can get my time is to employ me because that's what you're doing. Let's make no mistake about it. Employ me by taking me to this business venue so we can discuss business. I've never been there. You're fired. I don't even want to continue this interview. You don't meet the minimum qualifications to be here. I will go find another employee if that's where we are. This transaction is void. I do not need to employ you. You have given me your worth and I don't accept it.
Yeah, and you know, and strategic dating is a very good line of thinking, right? When I say strategic dating, right, if in fact you are attempting to be with this person, right, it should be a strategic date. It should be something like, you know, we go to a noon pottery exhibit or class where we both sit down, make a little pot, you know, from the potter's wheel. Then, you know, from there we may go to like what the park, the art museum, walk around, talk, and then at the end of all of that, because you know, as a gentleman and as a you know person, a refined individual, yeah, you do want to provide some type of comfort and refreshment for the person, but it should be strategic in the sense where we get to know you. Because if you ask me to take you, where you say, Jay, to Ruth Chris, this only proves that I can spend money on you. What I'm trying to show you is I'm ready to spend some time with you and can be consistent with you, you know,
What up, dog?
and connect with you. Me being able to spend a high price only proves that I can spend money on you.
Yeah, and
This
not just
this,
that, but
this
that
interaction is
money,
we're trying to spend, you know, spend some time together.
yeah, that money has an expiration date. That
Exactly.
that that money that I spent on you, that shit expires. Just like,
Yeah.
you won't see that many people that are going to go above and beyond after their set parameters of work, because it requires more money at that point, right? So as soon as that clock expires, oh, we done. This is transactional. I no longer need you. And women will have the questioning of, or they'll have two things, right? That they will have the the gauze to be like, well, he just wanted to lay down with me. He was just trying to get in between my legs. And ladies, if you are coming to a dude and telling them that it's going to cost you a certain amount of money in order for them to go out with you, that's exactly what you've defined yourself to be to him. You became transactional, and I'm going to continue to use that term for a reason,
Hey,
because
understood.
a lot of women keep thinking that, well, I'm not a I don't do this as a hobby. But as soon as you let that shit slip out of your face, yes, you have. That's exactly what you're doing. Now, conversely, if it comes across where, yeah, let's go on a coffee date, or let's just go somewhere to so that we can actually converse and experience each other and figure out whether or not we want to invest this time
Right.
with each other. That's when a man's mind will switch and we'll see a completely different side. But if you deal in transactional parameters, we will reciprocate that in transactional ways. Just saying. Agree or disagree, gentlemen? I don't know. What y'all think?
I agree. You present yourself in that man. I'm present my like I say, I'm gonna look at the ambiance and everything, and I'm expect to get them draws, dog. And after that, you know what I'm saying? Ain't no connection, you know what I'm saying? But if we go on a date and we actually get the vibe, like Sir said, and get to know each other, boom, I'm gonna look forward to that next day. Like, damn, baby girl had me, you know what I'm saying? You know, she was talking this and talking that. Let me see if she really connection. Let's meet up. Let's do that. But a lot of people don't do that nowadays. So yeah, I agree with you, G.
Yeah, I don't. What you got, big bro?
Um, you know, as we mature and elevate, right, time is its own reward, right?
Mm,
When I bring my time and you bring your time, right, and when we combine it, and this is getting ready to sound a little bit out there, right? But time actually stops when two people invest time in another person, right? They
yeah,
are able to, they are able to for a moment stop in time, because since time is its own reward, right? The one thing that you can invest in time is time and receive time back. Because if you
absolutely.
ever ask your mate, say, Dad, babe, why you like spending time with me? Because I just like being around you. So what is that saying? That's saying that you are so important that the time that I have, that that is, relevant to my own existence is worth and worthy enough for me to combine it with your time so I can experience you. So you
True.
don't feel like you've lost anything when you're with a person that you want to be with. So time is its own reward. As you invest time in time, what you receive back is time.
It's the actual resource that most people, a lot of people get some things misconstrued. We've placed a lot of value on a fiat currency that has no intrinsic value. And so what that means is we've placed a high importance on the dollar system that doesn't deserve it. When the actual resource that we are getting quote unquote rewarded for is the time that we're putting into a thing. Time is the real investment. Money
Exactly.
is not.
Because see,
Money has never been. Go ahead, big bro. I see you.
time is the only resource that you cannot recoup or ever get back.
Absolutely.
That's why time invested in time is its
So,
own
bro,
reward,
you done
and you get it
wasted
back.
8 marriages, and then you gonna tell me about time? But my bad.
I knew. Hey Dirk,
Let's go with that. Let's
hey,
go with that because that's a valid point. That's a valid
hey
point.
Dirk.
That's a valid
That's
point.
why I fool. Hey man, that's why I fool with him, boy.
Man, I
Yeah.
just sip my tea. I
Hey,
just sip my tea and smoke my
you so
cigar,
hey.
bro, man.
Let's go.
I
Come
might
on,
Hey,
man.
let you whoop. I might let you whoop Pooh Duke now. I might let you whoop him.
hey,
Love the
so
kids, man.
I
Gotta
know,
say, Dirk love the kids.
that's
I
I
know
think that's
this.
a valid point. I think that's a valid point. So we can rewind the clock a little bit and go back there. So a person who has gone through 8, 9, 10, a quantifiable number of marriages, right? First one didn't work, second one didn't work, so there's a continued progression of them going through different marriages and people. What I heard you kind of say is, so you went through this, you invested in all these people, you invested time in all these people, your resource, but you didn't get anything out of it. So what happened with that at the end? Is that what you kind of saying? Cause
No, I'm just saying, like, damn, what is it, like 1, 2 years? Like, I mean, I ain't trying to put a number. Well, we say that a number on time, but then we speak about time and experience, and you know what I'm saying. I told y'all about the woman, the 87 years of being married. You know what I'm saying?
what's going on?
So,
Because
y'all finna go to bed. No.
he
Yeah,
just wanted to be famous
yeah,
tonight.
want to give me a hug. All right. I spoke about the 87 years of being together. You know what I'm saying? Spoke about longevity. So
Right,
it's all
right.
about time. Time means something with a person. You know what I'm saying? And
Absolutely.
then not just time. Like I say, Isaac put that commitment in there. I spoke about.
Hmm.
I was like, damn. When you put that time in, it's supposed to be about commitment. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you speak about marriage. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I was with the conversation. You know what I'm saying?
But we can never discount
Correct. And I agree with y'all on that. I would never discount
the human element, that because that's always the unknown variable.
but I'm still gonna
Individ-
look at them like, damn, cuz oh,
Yeah,
7
yeah,
of
for
them,
sure, for
we doing
sure.
this again.
Yeah, because and look, I'm gonna tell you something. After a while, I'll be like, man, I don't give a damn if you. I'm not coming. I'm not coming. I'm not finna go to your wedding. I know this is a progression of what you do. I got it. Some people are literally addicted to the endorphins that are released in the phases and stages of simply falling in love. That's an
That
addiction.
it and that yeah, that is a true thing. That is a thing. This serial marrying, like
Yeah.
Yeah, like we're
that
saying.
that
Correct.
was mentioned, but it seems as if with all of the intangible qualities that go into a relationship, the common denominator always will be and has been time. And when you
Yeah.
start attaching a dollar amount to, the common denominator of the foundation of all, like loyalty requires time, commitment is a product of time,
Correct.
romance is a product of time, right? Experience is a product of time. Because with the dude who been married 7 or 8 times, right?
I see
Hopefully,
what you're doing.
yeah, hopefully the time you has allowed you to extract some valuable experiences from it, because at the foot of experience is time, right? So when we start looking at relationships or connecting with other individuals in terms of the value of time as its own reward, right? Being mature enough to, guide people away from this what's the word I'm looking for, Jane? Uh the monetization of
What's up,
time
man?
in that sense. Um, I think we can move towards some healthy journeys. But
Got you.
yeah,
Yeah, no, you know me, man. Like I was just,
no,
Oh, that
no,
was
hey, Dirk,
I think
you, but
right.
at the end of the day, when the soup boil down to the end of the pot, you not wrong. You're right, cause
Yeah.
I'm going because of who he is, Dirk. I'm gonna look at the dude, man. You been married 9 times, bruh. Tell me
hey,
Hmm.
something.
hey,
Tell me.
about the second one of these, I'm gonna be like, hold on, bruh, wait a minute, ain't you on your fourth marriage? And
Oh yes.
I'm just
Yeah.
going through, you know what I'm saying, my first divorce, you know what I'm saying? How I'm gonna take it, or anything, any advice I'm getting from, you know what I'm saying? I'm be like, wait a minute, bruh.
And
I
Right.
and
know
it's
you
not a movement to throw their actions in their face. It's a
correct.
Right.
movement to justify what you're saying. How can you justify what you're saying if you haven't shown me any success in what you've done? Right. And that's the point of that. And I get it.
Yeah,
Now, what
yeah.
I've also taken into account are the wise words of madmen, as it were. Wise words of madmen, the people that we consider this motherfucker giving me some unorthodox ass information. I don't like this too much. I don't know if I can invest in this. Right. So what's going on, Todd? Thanks for hopping on. I don't know if you're on the road right now or not, but Tehran, one of my high school homies, he said he's on his second. Uh if if she leaves, there would not be a third. I heard that. I heard that.
And
What I
and
say,
it,
fool me once, fool me twice. Go ahead, sir.
no, y'all just compounded the point. A healthy person after number two, then they should or make a decision that, what, maybe the institution of marriage is not for me,
Right.
right? Because see,
Right.
I know some successful relationships where people haven't went to a justice of a peace, and they've been
Absolutely.
together, happy, thriving, wholesome for multiple years, and they've never went down no aisle or none of
Yeah.
that foolishness.
And
Yeah,
So
and, and and not trying to
I got
take
you.
anything
That's
away
true.
from the
That's true.
sanctity of marriage in and of itself for people who
right,
go through the process. But those are the types of relationships that I observe and I actually invest a little more attention into because they're not doing this because of an economical reason. A lot of marriages are built on and cannot be adjusted or turned away from because of the economic structure of that marriage. And as soon as the two people dissolve the business that they've entered in upon with the state, then the economics of the business gets destroyed, and one of those partner has to take a loss in order for the business to be uh, not so much saved, but to be righted, to right that ship. So the relationships that I've found that I see, uh, minus a few, that I can actually honestly appreciate are those who voluntarily go into these things every day, not having to go in front of a magistrate to sign a document to legally marry you.
And a
I
lot
know,
of them keep they people, not well, I ain't gonna say they people, but they keep people out of their business.
right?
You know what I'm saying? They keep their, you know what I'm saying? They don't speak to they single friends. They don't speak to well, they speak to them, but they don't bring that into their household. That's what I'm resonating with. You know what I'm saying? So it
Yeah,
can work with married people. It can work with single people. It can work with people that's just trying. As long as you keep, I think if you keep even your partners that's married, you know what I'm saying? What you
yeah,
do in your household, how you speak to your wife, how you move with your kids, they don't do that in their household. So I can't get this man advice and tell this man, hey, bro, you need to do this with your kids. You know what I'm saying? Because he's not gonna reciprocate that. He's gonna go back home and he's gonna go through the most. He's gonna do what he does in
together.
his household. You see what I'm saying? So it's that's why I say like a lot of us need to just, you know what I'm saying? Like we speak to our partners and like I say, that's why I asked earlier, should we just be venting to our partners? Because a lot of us, that's what it is. It's just a lot of us getting it off our chest. Because when we go back home, we not gonna resonate with man one of them things them seven partners told us to do,
Right.
or we gonna go
Or it
back
might
home
be it might be a little bit of all of them, but it ain't gonna be a total movement of them. Y'all
but when
keep
you
talking
go
about
back home and
we
you put your big boy drawers on, and you be like, hold on, woman.
hey,
She gonna be
hey,
like, hold on, that was Raymond. That wasn't you. You see what I'm saying? I know your
right,
partners. You see what I'm saying?
right.
So
I'm finna go refresh myself. Y'all keep talking. I'm listening. I can hear you. And then we still got people on other different platforms that are listening. We still got good people here that are listening. So by all means, sorry, looked like you was finna say something. I'll be right back.
No, it was just if we allow time to be judged based on a financial amount, right? Then that which we would continue to call quality time, right?
yeah,
Now it will become an illusion because if we allow money to be the measure in which time is valuable in a relationship, is what I'm saying, then now
right.
the quality is based on how much money I create and not what type of individual I am, right? And um, real healthy relationships from that I've seen that we grew up around like grandma, grandpa, Uncle Ed and his wife, you know,
Longevity.
right? That longevity. What we have seen is the the mature and dedicated management of time because there are
Correct.
certain spots of that time for you, like you, Dirk. There's certain spots in your life where your time is reserved for work, family, for you, for the boys and their recreation, right?
Right.
So you're managing your time in a responsible way that it translates back into your relationship. Again, time invested in time is its own reward because what you receive back is time,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
the quality and beauty of it. So when you see people who have long prosperous relationships, those are very interested managers of the time that they're sharing with the other individual whom they've chosen to be in their life, right? Uh, and Keela is right. Grandma and Grandpa went through
That's
things
that's what
that,
I was gonna speak on,
yeah,
but
that
I
we
ain't gonna
didn't.
cut you off. But go ahead.
No, that's real. No, Grandma and Grandpa went through stuff we didn't even know about, and because of the lack of the development and technologically and
Society.
societally, it was
Yeah.
probably even worse.
Yeah. Society based off society. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I was getting on. Like with the woman with the older woman was saying with the 87 years of being married. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of things that we went through that I know my grandkids, my great grandkids, you know what I'm saying? None of them, my kids never will go through. You see what I'm
Right,
saying? Or
right,
never went
right.
through. You know what I'm saying? Because we changed, like you were saying, like we changed as individuals, growing as people. We
I'm
changed
still
as
here.
individuals, yeah, we changed as individuals, but still the same people trying to make a better entity. You know what I'm saying? Trying to make our household better, trying to make our family better. You know what I'm saying? So
And so to Keela's point, the question that's big from that statement is why don't relationships work like that? Statistically speaking, we are failing. We are failing.
I said it, Jig.
I'm a part of that failure. Like
I,
I am not removed from that.
but I
I
already
am
said, Swift
yeah.
said it. But go ahead.
So the question is, what's different? What has changed? And how did we get here to where over 50% of our marriages are failing as a country?
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah,
simply talking about as a race. I'm talking about as a country.
right.
How is this? How did we get here, and why? I'm not. I'm not. I know a lot of people are going to want to retort. 80% of marriages are initiated by women because of finances. That's besides the point. That's just a byproduct of what's happened inside the marriage. How did we get here? What's going on inside the marriage that we haven't been able to connect with each other and maintain these types of relationships. Our grandparents did it, so it was model for us. We know about it, we've seen it, we heard about it, but where did
We
we
just
miss
spoke
it?
about it. Yeah, we just spoke about it. It was like you say, the commitment. And then like we exposed to a lot more. You know what I'm saying? Our grandparents weren't exposed to, you know what I'm saying, OnlyFans back then. You see what I'm saying? So it's a lot more that we are exposed to in a generation that pique our interest. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, it's no such thing as I can't get that nowadays. You know what I'm saying? Any part of society nowadays, you can go out and get that with the American dollar, with the scheming, however you think about it. You can go out and achieve that. You can go out and get that.
So y'all, what it sounds like y'all are summing it up to is access. Y'all think it's access that's become the difference, like access to external influences, or how would you quantify that? How would you what if you could boil that down? What you got, Cuzzo?
No, I'm just saying, me personally. Yeah, I'm just saying, me personally. Yes,
Okay,
I think it's,
is
you know what I'm saying?
that's the part I'm having an issue with actually rectifying, and I like when it comes to my failure in my previous marriage, I can tell you exactly what I did wrong. The onus at this point in my life is no longer on her. So I've moved away from the emotional state of everything hurting because it was fresh and all of that.
Correct.
But I've taken an approach of saying, okay, since I failed in something, how do I get better the next time I enter in upon it? And what I don't see people doing is actually that part of the work, because that's not an easy thing to do, right? So when I say access to stuff, like, make no mistake about it, prostitution is the oldest one of the oldest professions in the world. So our grandparents, they had access more, probably even faster physically than what we do today. Just because it's online doesn't mean that it's a physical thing with the
Right.
other person.
No, but that's what we going to. But it also goes back to that's what our grandmothers had to deal with. You see what I'm saying? But
Well,
they built them relationships and made them more stronger. So nowadays we can go hide this
mhm.
from our wife, even though it's more accessible. We can hide this from our significant others or whatever. You know what I'm saying? We can do different things. You know what I'm saying? Even though
So
it's more out there. Our grandparents, our grandma knew who our grandfather was. You see what I'm saying? It
even
was
if
a
he was with old Betty next door, it's because that's what
That's what I'm
I
saying. Its influence then straight too far away from the community versus ours. Ours, we can go outside the community. You see what I'm saying?
oh, I think
You can
I'm coming
you
around
can
to
pull
your
up on
point.
your phone like our grandfathers didn't have
Okay,
to go. She knew he was at the juke joint down the street. You see what I'm
so
saying? She
so
knew he was at Betty's next door because he was flirting with him at church. You see what I'm saying?
okay,
So it was always an
okay,
influence in the community with
yeah,
that crowd. You see what I'm saying? It was always there, but technology exposed it to boom. All right, baby, I got to go on a trip. You see what I'm saying? I got to go on a road trip, job, business. You see what I'm saying? In Chicago.
So let me read these comments off of Instagram real quick. The first one says, yes, we're too accessible. And the continuation to that is, we've transformed into fake people. We're no longer authentic. We have to be we have to be people. We're not to impress the rest. We have to be people. We're not to impress the rest of the world. We're who the world wants us to be now. And I'll tackle that in a second, because I also want to read this other comment on here from Keela that says, technology has changed relationships. Has technology changed relationships, or have people simply gotten a bit bolder with what they actually believe in?
Nah, 'cause like I say, they still got to come home at the end of the day. I, I
So
think
so
it's
so
more accessible.
here's why I
Go
say
ahead.
that. When I say people have gotten a bit bolder with what they believe in, that means that just because we're in the same house doesn't mean that we're sharing the same air. We're not breathing the same air. And that
Yeah.
means that we're not occupying the same space. So we can be in the same contained within the same four walls but still within different chambers of these four walls while somebody's looking at porn, right? And the
Yeah.
other person is getting their ego stroked in DMs somewhere. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah. But at that point, it's like, oh no, we separate. Well, we always separate because I come down here, I'm separate from my wife, you know what I'm saying? At times, you know what I'm saying? So, well, I don't know how to touch that one.
What you got, big bro? I see you over there thinking.
He got me speechless, sir.
Wah,
He got me speechless, sir.
Oh
Got,
Lord, oh
got my,
Lord.
got my back up now. Got some back up now. I ain't
We've been
speechless no
missing you.
more.
We put you in the place you belong. You got to be at the top.
Oh my gosh. Hey guys.
What
Hey
up, though?
Hey,
Wanda.
Hey, what's happening?
nothing much.
I
I'm
mean,
glad y'all made it there safely.
Oh my God. Yes, we made it. Had to get connected to the Wi-Fi. But we're here. I know
Good.
y'all not gonna be
Glad
on
y'all
too much
safe.
longer. I just wanted to pop in and say, hey, I know
I ain't got shit
I
to
got
do
a
tomorrow.
I got a
So
long morning in the morning. So hi
Yes, you do.
Kiva. So just popped in and say, hey, what you got? What you need backup on, cousin? You know I got you.
Oh, yeah, now, G just asked a valuable, G just asked a question and I was stumped on. I had no feedback for once. I was speechless.
What was the
Sir,
question?
I was, really sitting here like, and then you popped on. I'm like, okay. I thought you was in the background just peeping it.
No, I just got connected to the Wi-Fi. I'm not no, I don't know how good that Wi-Fi is. So
yeah,
we'll
we
see
pretty.
how it's gonna work out.
G,
Yeah,
what
it's
was the
holding pretty
question?
strong right now.
Okay.
What you asked me? G? I
Well,
know it was
before I run back to the question, I don't want Sir to lose his thought because I see him over there holding it.
oh, my bad. I say he
no,
not.
no, no. Y'all fine. You know how we do it. Y'all are fine.
Yeah.
It, you know, you can really only answer that question in the area you can answer it in. Uh, our society is built in a really weird. It's really like the Matrix in a way, right?
Okay. I
Um,
can pick that up.
relationships. The times have changed. The nature of our values as humans have changed, but we've also been guided into this position by an overwhelming amount of influence from propaganda,
Okay.
uh, through entertainment and all these other outside influences that undermine healthy male and female relationships. Because, and again, relationships create families. Families create communities. Communities create neighborhoods. Neighborhoods create societies, right? And when we stray away from whatever wholesome values that are in place to allow men and women to operate as a functional, wholesome unit, right? When those things begin to disintegrate, what happens is what you see is happening now. A lot of these cyber techno relationships where you meet people online. I don't do online relationships. First of all, I'm old school. I'm in Kroger. If I see you, hello, how you doing, sister? Hey, I'm just trying to tell you.
I feel you, big bro.
I'm not getting on no keyboard talking about some LOL, IDCKB, and all of those foolishness. I like
Right, right.
organic, homegrown relationship. I hope we can be on a plane crash together and both survive, so I can see what type of motherfucker you are. Just
Right, right.
and
Let's see
I
this.
did go extreme. I mean, I went extreme because Wanda was like, "Here you go." I went extreme, but the point of what I'm saying, Wanda, is that the goal of connecting with another human being is to to hopefully see who they really are from a character perspective. You need to see who this person is and be safe and honest and transparent enough to share all of who you are, even your, like I said, your successes, your failures, your flaws, if you really want to be with this person. And we have been guided in a way to where we're attaching the wrong things that qualify a successful connection between men and women. We have actually monetized an organic human thing. I remember I used to get women by writing poetry.
Yeah.
I used to be able to write poetry to women, and that would be so organic and meaningful.
Gotta be slick shit.
No, it ain't that dirt. What I was
I
doing
only
was
had one guy write me poetry, and I was like, oh shit.
exactly. Thank you, Wanda. Thank you, Wanda.
I was trying to be slick when I wrote poetry. You see
But
what I'm
Dirk, we
saying?
know that. That's why we love you. We know that. You had one thing on your mind when you was putting that pen to paper.
Well, but in our defense, let's be honest about that part. That was what we were taught. One of the avenues that we were taught to traverse in order to get the attention to set us apart and make us separate from the rest of the herd that's trying to get the attention
Right.
of the person that we're trying to get communication with.
But on a higher note, if you create a written literary work that is able to resonate with an individual internally, that's what a relationship or the organic atmosphere of a relationship is about. Every human being is like a musical instrument, and you have to be able to play the right notes and evoke the right tones and feelings in this person for them to open up and be willing to, like I said, take time, invest time, and let the reward be time, because time is its own investment and reward. Now, I want to ask Wanda this. When Knucklehead Fred wrote you that poem, how did that make you feel, Wanda, and what did it do to you? Because we're not trying to analyze where he wanted to get you in the bed and all that foolishness, but I'm saying, what did it do?
Just for clarification, the poem never got me in bed. I never slept with this person, period.
Of course not. You're a Calvin. Of course not. You're not no dummy.
That never happened.
Of course. Well, former Calvin.
No, but the fact that you took the time out to put your vocabulary together and show me all the big words that you do and all your metaphors and all of that, I thought it was nice. And I was like,
it awakened and evoked something inside of you.
She thought it was nice.
It was nice.
That's what I'm saying, right? And
nice.
you can't buy nice.
He didn't get no cheeks though, Dirt.
Of course not. But see, it was
it wasn't poetic.
It was definitely poetic. It was very.
She was
able
able to
poetry.
She was able to attach a meaningful concept of what it means to be a human on the time this individual spent in writing the poem. She said it was nice.
Took that time out for me.
Yeah, so you can't buy nice. Nice don't have no price. You can't buy that.
Yeah.
You can't buy that. And that's what I'm trying to tell these relationship gurus and all these highfalutin TikTok relationship traffickers. This stuff y'all talking about is foolishness.
One of them say something, they come
am
right.
Let me jump on a soapbox real quick. Go ahead,
What's
Dirk.
up,
Then I'll
Dirk?
get on my soapbox after that.
I gotta go. I was going to say I gotta go, but you gonna get on this soapbox. Go ahead.
I am, because I am so
dog outside.
tired.
Somebody let them
I'm ridiculously tired
until I let them outside.
of love being monetized by these emotional trafficking individuals. And if y'all haven't noticed, there's a trend with these type of people. Generally speaking, it's men. And the reason why men do it is because we understand that if we can get a woman in her emotions and we can capture her in that, and her finances will are soon to follow, because women make the most loyal customers in the world. Tupac spoke about it decades ago. If you can get women on your team, though, they're the best fans ever, and you won't lose us. You won't skip a beat. You'll stay paid. Women will make you rich. I don't give a damn the race, the any of that. If you can get women to buy into you as a product or a brand, you can set yourself. Again, that's why I went last week when I was talking about Steve Harvey and his books. The bullshit that was pushed out, it was an emotional movement to women in order to capture you, to capitalize off of that movement. It
Yeah,
had nothing to do with truth
because
whatsoever.
real G's knew not to buy that shit. I wouldn't spend $1 on a punk ass Steve Harvey book.
I've never bought
Absolutely.
a Steve Harvey book, but I did go see the movies. They were
Yeah,
quite
but
entertaining.
and that goes to my point. It came from a book that evolved into a movie that made even more millions of dollars, and the biggest audience was women.
Hmm.
It wasn't men, because
Yeah, because
men
men were
can
pissed.
understand what the fuck is going on.
Y'all were
We
pissed.
can understand what's going on,
Y'all
which is
like the
why
game
it's
is to be told, not sold.
not sold,
But
right?
he
And
sold it.
that's and I'm not, that's not the avenue that I'm speaking on. But on my soapbox, get it irks me through my core that we will allow some of these sap sucking motherfuckers to hop up and take advantage of y'all, and then y'all won't even listen to us when we telling y'all this motherfucker ain't no good. We know the avenue that they approach. We understand the point of attack, the avenue, the encroachment, the movement that these motherfuckers are getting on, and it is not okay to us, to real
Mm.
men. It's not. It's a movement of manipulation that is uncanny, and once they get y'all there, it's damn near impossible to reel you back in to understand what the fuck is going on. Derek Jackson pushed out a whole bunch of bullshit
Where is he
at the
even at
same time,
now? Like where he at now?
exact hurting the person that he is supposed to be expressing the movement of love to. Cheating on her. Had her sitting on the side of him like she wasn't worth shit. But he got
In a
people's
bonnet,
attention. Yeah,
looking
in a
stupid.
bonnet. Right. So there comes it, like, fuck these dudes, man. Fuck these motherfuckers.
Now
They ain't
I know
worth
you're on
shit.
your, I know you're on your
I'm
soapbox,
I'm
but
gonna
but
take a
but
step
but
down.
no, but let me stick my hand in there. I just need one bar, so, cause let's talk about these raggedy. Cause now I got to get on these raggedy brothers, right?
Are we having holding men accountable? Is that what we're doing
I think
tonight?
that's what it just
We
turned
should
into. Yes.
I
we
Well,
should
think
have
no,
did
no,
that
no, hold on, no.
because I actually gotta go.
Let's be
okay,
All right.
clear.
bye dirt.
But
Hey,
You
this the
leaving us
after
dirt?
this the family bloodline afterlife. We're gonna keep it
I
moving.
hate to
I
I
got
hate to
all
cut it off,
goddamn night.
but
Love you, cuzzo. Thank you for hopping on. I appreciate you. We
You want
for
to do
sure.
you want to do your final thought
Final
before you leave?
thoughts. Final thoughts from Dirt. Go ahead and get it, cuzzo.
my final thoughts. Well, uh, did I have final thoughts? Oh yeah. Uh, love your people. Stop the evil as always. But we need to support each other. Uh, Color Purple had a budget of like 140 million. They only made like 30 mil off they. You know what I'm saying? The Book of Clarence debut. It's open these opening weeks, people. You know what I'm saying? These opening weeks. The Book of Clarence.
Boy,
Opening
you
week
got
was
one. You
like
got one on Google. You just send water to movie.com. Lord
she can
have
pull it
mercy.
up. She can pull it up. The Book of Clarence
That's why I fool with Wanda. Wanda
had a
like, wait
budget of
one
like
damn minute.
a hundred and plus million. Yeah, she can pull the numbers up and they gonna tell you. 100 and plus million, Book of Clarence budget. They made like 30 mil also. You know what I'm saying? We need to support our people. You see what I'm saying? Our people going out here and they doing what they doing, supporting themselves, trying to make us valuable. And we don't go out there and support them. You know what
I
I'm
went to
saying?
go
Like
see it, so it wasn't
I,
me.
I know you went to go see it, but you can look at the numbers.
I
What you
know
went to
I
go see,
did.
Wanda?
We didn't
I
go
went to go see
see
the
it.
color purple. I
Oh, I
saw
We
it.
thought
I
didn't
you.
just
go.
I
She
didn't
went to go
see
see
it
the color,
opening week, but I saw
but
it.
still, oh, you know what I'm saying? Them the numbers that they speak on. Them the numbers that they make us accountable for. You know what I'm saying?
It was
So
they budget was around 100 million.
around 100 million, and then they pull out like a $30 million budget. You see what I'm saying? I mean, not a $30 million budget. That's what they made off of spending that. Come on, we need to support our people on film, on clothing, on everything. Support this podcast. You know what I'm saying? Support, support your people. That's all. That was my biggest thing. That's all that resonated with me all night. Like commitment, support. Like, come on, you get support from people that you don't think that's valuable to you. Gain that support, gain that knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all was telling me to. You know what I'm saying? So take it all in, but support. At the end of the day, support.
For sure. For sure. I appreciate you, Cuzzo.
Love y'all.
Final
Okay, so
thoughts. What you got,
so
Cuzzo?
the opening week they made 54.8 million. That was just the opening week. But
58
to
million.
date, I'm trying to see what it was to date.
The Color Purple.
Cause yeah, and they actually had the second biggest Christmas Day opening in history.
But it still didn't. It still wasn't
It didn't.
support of
It's what
like
it didn't do 100 million, but it did 50. And no, it did have like a little over half of that.
no
But
no.
yeah,
So what I'm saying is like a Fast and the Furious to come out. They on like 20.
hmm
Uh
I still ain't
anything.
seen it. The last one.
I'm tired of them. You see what I'm
It's
saying?
pretty much,
I'm tired of them.
like,
So
but
all these other films come out and they longevity.
How many
You know
Fast
what I'm
and
saying?
Furious is it?
I think it's
I think they
10.
on fucking 10.
How? What you said?
10.
10.
Shit, the goddamn car should be run out of gas by now, ain't it? Goddamn.
No,
But they
y'all still
always
got the
they
Damn.
all
big old
No.
car.
but they meet their budget. They meet their budget
Damn.
opening week. Plus, you see what I'm saying? Even though we know it's the same film, they
There
meet
was
their
somebody running
budgets.
past.
So that's all I'm saying. Like
I
all
hear
these
you.
other
I
films that's
understand.
out here, we gonna support us. I do. Wanda do. Let's do it.
I don't
Going
support the
forward.
color. I had to
Uh,
say that. I do not support the Color Purple.
I wish
I,
I could jump on my color purple soapbox tonight, but I'm not gonna do it. But
but see,
We not.
but see what I'm saying. So we got Taraji P out here fighting as
I do support
he.
the actors and actresses.
How do you support the actors and you
Absolutely.
don't support the film? And so that's a
You know
lot of
what?
things that they
That's
was
a good
fighting
point,
for.
nerd.
that
Thank
That
you.
that,
was a
that
lot
little
of things.
$10 is not gonna hurt Taraji. That I would have put in the
It's not.
box.
But it
So
does.
what
But
what
it
I what I
does
will
because
say
No,
is I
no,
don't
my ten
support the mess.
dollars, my $110
Yes,
is
it
not gonna.
does. It
it
still
does
Let me
affect.
does.
It
let me
does affect.
clarify my statement then.
Go ahead, bro.
Don't
Then,
support the message, but I support the people. I support the people. Except
mm,
for Oprah.
but like we going to like Taraji P fought for her. You know what I'm saying? Say she wasn't getting the money
Her
that she
do pay.
deserves.
Right.
All right, so we don't go out and support that film. What's gonna make other, you know what I'm saying, directors or anything
Well,
pay her
Support
that
well,
black
her
people.
due
now
justice?
I gotta push back on that a little bit, because I gotta
Talk
push
to me.
back on.
Talk to me.
And this is why, because I know who I am and how I would move and maneuver in this whole
But that
situation.
the and but with that
Wait a
being
minute. Wait a minute.
said,
No,
they don't move like you.
no,
They don't move like you.
let him
I
finish.
got it.
Let him finish.
I'm not asking for people to move like me, but I am asking for people to actually be rational in their movement. There's no reason why an actor or an actress cannot make a full salary plus more if you have a billionaire who is an executive producer. Prove me
You talking about
wrong.
Tyler Perry?
Nope, not just Tyler Perry. If you
Well,
have
he did
someone
pay
who
Taraji her
has,
first million. So
That's what I'm saying.
yeah,
So who are
if
you
you
talking about?
have, if you have a person who has made billions of dollars and believe in their film, the gross output of the film
she
should
find her.
never come in come into conflict with what the
Where's your
actors and
closing?
actresses should be paid. If I've got a cool $5 million laying around and I'm asking people to do something to build a project, I'm going to pay the people to do the work
You finna go
first
upstairs.
and expect that I'm going to make more afterwards.
What I'm gonna do is start a GoFundMe for everybody who don't want to go to see the money but want to send her $10. I need to find how much the ticket is.
No,
Cause I
so
thought you supposed to be gone, Dirk. No.
no, because it's weird for y'all to be the stature of gentlemen that y'all are and
I
not
knew he was
recognizing
gonna
what
go.
I'm saying. So all right, so like let's take the great like Lou Gossett Jr. Lou Gossett
Mhm,
Jr. said when the so all these black actors want to win like Oscars and shit. You know what I'm saying?
mhm,
The great Lou Gossett Jr. said he won the Oscar and it was detrimental to his career.
mhm.
And they asked him why. He was like, because they didn't want to pay me my worth. What they were paying these other actors after they got these. We can't get our worth.
So here's the difference with what you're saying,
So it's not a
and
$10 ticket problem. It's a no. Let me stop. Go
it's
ahead,
not
Johnny.
Whoa,
because
whoa,
Ice
whoa!
Cube,
Wait a minute!
Ice
Wait, no,
Cube.
no, no! Wait a
Go
minute,
ahead, go ahead.
because go ahead. No, go ahead. I'm gonna let you speak. Cause
What I was going to say is Ice Cube paid everybody $5,000, right? Now, the actual profit of the movie was totally different than what they were paid. What I'm saying is Cube promised these folks that they were going to make a specific amount, and he made sure they made it. They made it. It didn't take the film to be popular in order for Cube to support the people that he asked to do it.
yes, it did. Cause he put his own budget up. If that film was not successful, them actors or
Would
Jig,
still have been paid.
come on,
They
Jig.
still would have they still would have gotten
How?
paid
We
because
were,
he paid them beforehand. He paid
Jig.
them before. John Witherspoon went on record saying, "I got $5,000 for this film." That and because he paid his rent 6 months in advance. And so he paid his
Yes,
rent based
they
off
weren't getting
of
their work. That's what I'm telling you. So let's take this. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's look at like Sanford and Son. Let's look at like uh Different Strokes. These are black shows on national networks. But
Mhm.
the only network, I mean, the black next national show that got paid was the Cosby.
Yeah, because they had a
The,
different
the,
platform to actually in
it
order
was,
to
but they was on the same platform. So that's what I'm saying. So how can you tell me, as black people, we on the same platform that we can't get paid or we can't? You can't tell me that. You know what I'm
no
saying? Like,
so what I'm saying is if I put on a production, right? Before I released the production to the public, right? I'm going to tell the actors and actresses what they are to be paid, or I'm going to negotiate a contract with the actors or actresses, and I'm going to pay them for that. Now, if that contract says if this film grosses this amount of money, these are the royalties or kickbacks that I will be paid from that. But on the front end of everything, before the film is released to the public, there are prices that are negotiated that have to be paid.
so you
Otherwise,
tell it
all
using
act
negotiation. That's what I'm saying. Using negotiation. You telling me, Tom Cruise can go and negotiate his contract.
no, because Tom Cruise has proved that every film that he goes on is
Yeah, I'm
going
gonna get
to
off
gross
this
a certain
podcast
amount
right
of
now
money. And
because
so that's the business of
cause
acting. That's the
th-
business of acting, right?
that's the business of act.
So
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 t-
when you go into the business of acting, it begins to have a different look. Even when
you
Denzel
missed my.
Washington.
I think you missed my point. I think you
No,
totally
I
missed my
didn't. I
point.
didn't. I didn't.
Yeah,
I
because I
got
was
your
speaking
point.
on black actors and versus, and you went into negotiations. You know what I'm saying? And I was talking about on contracts, negotiations, all that actors. black versus white. Black people don't get the same having the same accolades as this act. So your job. Speak on any job. That's what I'm saying. So you telling me that's any job. Any job I can go in. I know my resume. I know my counterpart. I know my counterpart gonna go in and gonna get this part just because of who he is. That's what I'm resonating with. You telling me about people going in negotiating contracts. That's not that's not what it is in
But
the
it's
industry.
totally what it is. And so let me bring it back to a conversation that we had once before involving Cat Williams. Cat Williams pays the comedians that go out on tour with him $300,000 a year, right? That's what they negotiate, regardless of where they're coming from, because Cat Williams has a different involvement in those negotiations. When you have
That's
an
black on
established
black. That's black on black. So that's black on
well,
black.
we just talked about Ice Cube also telling
Yep. And
everybody that they're going to get paid $5,000 as well, right? Although the film grossed several million dollars. Now, with that several million dollars that was grossed, Cube didn't own that. He didn't own that. So when it comes to the business of acting, the difference is your money is paid before they actually get the end product.
but you can
I'm
negotiate, like what you were saying. You keep saying negotiation, but then you
yeah,
keep saying
it is a
no.
negotiation.
It's at the beginning. You know what I'm
No,
saying? So
it
when
is
I
a
come in
negotiation.
and I view that, so when I tell you about black, all right. So this is where my conversation come from. This is where my conversation come from. I was listening to the Breakfast Club and
Mhm.
Living Single
Maxine,
uh Maxine.
I love her so much. Yeah.
Maxine was on the Breakfast Club, and she was speaking on about her new movie out.
Erica Alexander is her name.
Erica,
Mm.
thank you, cuz thank you. I couldn't even think
She
of her name.
always Maxine to me. That's
This
Maxine
is where
Shaw.
this whole conversation comes about, and she spoke about everything that I'm speaking about. This is where this whole conversation comes about. People of color, you see what I'm saying, and you saying this, and then so this is social media, and this is the word that we talked about, like people grasp on what they want to hear and what resonate with them, what they feel, you know what I'm saying? And this is not the first time you spoke about Cat Williams. Cat Williams spoke about a whole bunch of other shit that went on in the world. You see what I'm saying? She speak about something that Viola didn't spoke about, Denzel didn't spoke about, like all
Absolutely.
the top
Yes.
actors. And then you sit
So,
here and you still talk about like, well, they negotiated that, and they was like, well, we ain't had no choice. Our ceiling is
oh,
very
oh,
little. Our
but that's
ceiling is very little.
that's the part that I didn't say.
Yeah.
Right. That's
I
the
mean,
part that
but
I did not interject is we didn't have a choice. What I did say, however, is that you do go into these things with negotiations, right? So for an example, and I'll use myself as that example. When I did my first show, I did it for completely free when I started out on acting. It was totally free. I didn't get paid for it. I was there for exposure. My third show, however, I said, "Hey, I'm not working for free. You know what's the stipend for this?" No, I'm not going. I'm not going to accept $20 because I got a bit of a haul. So let's talk about how far I got to drive in order to make this show. By my fifth, sixth show, it was automatic in my contract or in my clause or in negotiations to say I have a 2 hour distance to drive. This is how much gas costs, and I can't be present for this specific show if you can't make or meet these basic amenities. That's what I was saying. Now, that does not take in
that's for
consideration.
your show. That's for your show. I'm talking about
Yeah,
for an acting job. When I come for that job,
but that was
see what I'm
those
saying?
are
You was in
acting
the
jobs
contract
also.
for a certain time frame, but like Taraji coming for not even the color purple. You know what I'm saying? She come for a white film. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Playing the same role as somebody else. She come for that.
But I think that's a different conversation of what I'm actually talking about.
No, that's why I say you switched up from what I was talking about. I was talking about the conversation of the black ceiling. You know what I'm saying? Like black actors not having that, you know what I'm saying? And you was like, well, no, they could negotiate that. And I was like, well, even in negotiations, you know what I'm saying? So you kind of went around what I was saying, and that's why I stayed on. I think a little bit longer because I was like, no, like we don't get the same. And they was talking about publicity for black films. They was talking about publicity for we don't get that. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I was resonating on. Like,
Hmm.
So you more or less, or because I hear what Dirt is saying. So what what we may want to be able to identify is who's responsible for the disparity for black actors not receiving the pay that they should. Because you're right, Viola has talked about it, that that her accolades
she talking
may,
about Meryl Streep.
yeah, that,
Yeah.
that they may surpass Meryl Streep accolades, but she doesn't get Meryl Streep money. And I think how the conversation started, right? What I was saying from their perspective is that it starts at the top, right? That those people who make those decisions, or to not pay or to not market this movie over that movie, right? That stuff happens at the top. And it's been happening. And again, it is a byproduct of the society that we live in.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Right, unfortunately, because we have always been offered the bottom of the gosh darn barrel when it comes to almost everything.
And it's like
And
we just gotta be happy that we in the room,
yeah,
and
yeah,
that is
right.
not
Yeah,
even the
just be
case
happy you in the
anymore.
room, Negro.
No.
Just be
And
thankful
so,
we even
I,
let you.
and I ain't trying to cut you off, big bro, but let
And
me
I know.
remind everybody that I've been saying this. I said this all 2023, and it hasn't caught on. This shit should have been like fire when it was heard. This year, this year alone,
Excuse me.
our community is projected to spend $1.8 trillion. So now let's go. Yes, yes, let's go back to the thinking box and block and figure out how to capitalize on that because we're giving that away. We're giving that away. Those are our rights those are our resources that we're giving away
Yeah,
voluntarily.
if we could stay out of Foot Locker and out of Kentucky Fried Chicken and
Ew.
off the twerk channel,
I agree with you on
and
that.
and if we could
Hey, I'm getting
stay.
those famous bowls from KFC now. Y'all watch y'all mouth now.
No,
What?
I
They
guess
get
what
them famous bowls.
I guess what I'm saying there is that our money has always circulated outside of our communities and never circulate inside our communities, because
Yeah.
we're not an insulated group of people, which speaks to
That
a
that's that's
much.
that's how we was, but now we getting like now we getting life insurance. Now we getting we getting the resources. We getting taught certain things. You know what I'm saying that we weren't. You know what I'm saying back then it was all about making ourselves look good. You see what I'm saying? So
but
now
but we still don't have hydrants painted with the Italian flag like they do on the South Side. You see what I'm saying? We don't
yeah,
have those communities
because you
where
don't
our
go to jail
money,
if you touch them hydrants.
when we spend it, it stay right in that area. We want it to circulate at least 100 times before it even think about leaving, and we're not insulated, unfortunately, as a social group in that
And
way.
see, that's what y'all. I mean, that's what y'all thinking. But I'm saying like black families buy like this fluke community over
No,
here
no,
by
we're not
no no
talking
no.
about small victories. We're talking about a collective effort to insulate us as an entire group, right? And
How
I
can
hate
we
to.
have generate? So you speaking on generational wealth? How can we do that as a people,
No, no,
or
no, 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 no. I'm
that
talking, no, not generational wealth. Because
Give
generational
me a
wealth.
minute,
just
guys. I'll be
stimulating
right
it back
back.
outside the
Okay.
community? I mean, how can we stimulate our dollars outside the community? That's what I'm
It's
trying to.
very simple. It's very simple. And that's the part that's missed. The simplicity of the nature of circulating our resources. We'll take our platform, for instance. Why do I need to go to Fox or Tubi if you haven't seen the controversy surrounding that from Roland Martin? Why do I need to go to any other source outside of us and what we're saying to collect that information?
Well,
Right?
it's an instant dollar.
Say again?
So it's an instant dollar. It's
Yeah,
that, you know what I'm saying?
but that same dollar, that exact same dollar
Mhm.
can be invested in someone that looks like us, but we give it away. We take it outside, we take it to an external influencer. My biggest my and I'm a hater for this because I detest Vlad. I detest Vlad. His whole career has been his whole platform has been built off of our necks,
Yeah, off our next. He the feds.
right? So instead of giving that to DJ Vlad, why not give it to the Family Bloodline podcast? That's the question. Because we're
No,
pushing our monies outside. That's outside of the community.
I
Every
get that.
other culture in the America invests in their own community first, from real estate, local grocery markets,
That's all I was saying.
shoes,
That's all I was saying. That's all I
clothing.
said from the jump.
Right.
Like when
And
I
I,
spoke about the films and like
yeah.
invest
So
in us.
so
That's what I was getting to. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
and
saying?
so on a specific point, I don't disagree with you on. That specific point is, I might not agree with the message, but I will agree with the actor or actress. I will agree to supporting them,
Yeah, but that's
right?
when I'm getting back to you. Like the message might not have been brought to you as a black man because they was trying to advertise to somebody else in low advertisement. They didn't really pump the advertisement out to you. You see what I'm saying? In your community, in your that's so same thing you saying to me about we, you know what I'm saying, we don't spend within our circle when we in like films and stuff, it's still distribution. We still gotta go through outside source. You know what I'm saying? So unless you
But
Master P was the only person that got through that distribution
perfect
shit.
point, perfect point of entrance, because that's exactly what I was about to say. We don't have to; we choose to. We've been conditioned to a point of a removal
Yeah,
of recognizing someone who looks like us that's worth and worthy of the investment that it takes to ensure
yeah.
that the Viola Davises, the Taraji P. Hensons, all of our wonderful actors and the Denzel Washingtons, to make sure that they get exactly what they deserve. This year alone, $1.8 trillion we're sending outside of ourselves when we could be giving some of that to Taraji. We can be giving that to
I know.
everybody that look like us. But we have chosen not to. And that's the issue.
I know you keep saying that it's us, but we don't control certain
But
entities. You would see so when you speak about dollars, like you speak about $1.8 trillion, the US throw that the US government throw that shit away every day.
I'm not
See
talking
what I'm
about the
saying?
US government.
But that's what we still gotta go through them. You see what I'm saying?
No, no,
So
no,
because
we don't.
we
We
don't
don't.
own we don't with like so if we take our richest black man,
Mhm.
he still don't have enough equity to finance that what you talking about, that
Sure.
actual movement. You see what I'm saying?
But if he had the assistance of Oprah, if he had the influence of
Well, you know what side Oprah on.
right. And so what I'm saying is it's not that he doesn't, it's that some of
But
us
saying
choose
because it was
not
the people
to.
that helped him out. And so that's what I'm resonate with. So it's gonna take us. It's gonna take us. It's gonna take the small little entity, like you saying. You
Yeah.
speaking about the 1.8 trillion, but I think it's gonna take actually us to actually
It
push
starts with
that money
$5. It starts with $10,
right
right?
there, what you
If
said.
we can look, the reason why we don't have in our culture, the reason why we don't have a solidified community is because of there's a fear. We understood through history what happens to our leaders that happens to us, right? When somebody stands up, they get killed. That's the honest God's truth.
That's what I'm saying to you. That's all
And
I'm
so,
saying to you.
but
We
here's
It's not
again,
controlled by us.
but it doesn't have to be controlled externally by us,
I got
but
you.
it needs to be influenced internally from us. We have the resources. One of the reasons why America was able to fund various different campaigns and wars is because if they projected what the government is going to make in the future, they can spend that money because they're going to make it back. Wars have been funded off of the simple projection of what we are going to actually spend as a community. And if you think about that, that is ridiculously profound. Wars have been funded from our government simply based off of the projections that our community, not the rest of America, but our community is going to spend.
So trip off of it. The gas prices in the community versus the other community. They getting their revenue. Think about the gallon of milk that we spend in the hood versus the other community.
Because
It's
that's what we've
they getting
allowed.
their community. So that's what I'm saying to you. So we already behind. We already fighting a war. Okay,
We're not
it's another
we're not
podcast. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna
we're
fire
not
this up, sir.
it's
Go
not
ahead,
that we're
sir.
behind at this point in life. It's the simple fact that we have been programmed to do outside of. We've been programmed to do this. We've been
So that's what I'm.
conditioned
So
and
that's what I'm
indoctrinated
saying to you. That's what I'm saying to you. Do we drive 6 miles out of our community to go get gas because it's
yes,
cheaper?
yes.
But we
Well,
done
not
burnt.
outside our
We done
community.
burnt.
This
You
this
see what I'm
this
saying? So we done
this
burnt.
is
We
what
done
I'm saying.
burnt
This is
gas.
what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. If we have somebody in our community that has to raise prices a little more because they are in our community, but they look like us, spend that extra.
That's what it is. But it's not feeding our community though. You see what I'm saying? We got
But it
more. We got more Arabs, Indians, Chinese.
oh yeah.
It's more. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So it's more. It's not feeding the community. You see what I'm saying?
And
So
that's
our dollar is never for us. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm
because
trying to get to you in the
that's what
community.
we, that's what we have allowed. This goes back to the exact same thing I teach my children. You define who you are and you make people act accordingly. We have
Understand?
not defined who we are. We cannot make anyone act according to our standards because we've not given a definition of solidarity. We've not given that.
Yeah, I always wondered why in the hood it was a Arab store, Chinese store,
You
Indian
talk to I'll be
store,
right.
They
and
got
these
the
people
grants.
and
They
these
got the
people don't
grants. They
don't
got the
look no, and I
loans.
don't disagree. I don't disagree. In our communities, right now, on one end there is an agenda that's being pushed against us, and so I agree with what you're saying. But what James is saying too, right, is just because this agenda is being pushed against us, we need to create some type of solidarity amongst
Correct.
ourselves as a
Correct.
community
Correct.
to start buying up the real estate and the property in our neighborhoods and revitalize it, take control of it so that we can begin to create businesses and institutions and things in our own communities that will benefit the people who look like us that live in those communities, right? Now
Right.
it's not an impossible feat and it can be done.
I'm not
uh
saying.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean it's not impossible and it can be done, but it's going to take something
It's a
to
war, bro. We still at war.
yeah, it's
That's
going
what
to
I'm
take
trying
something
to
to
do.
really make a serious shift happen so that it can be like that. But no, I mean y'all both hitting on some real.
No, and I told you, this the guy that made me who I am. You see what I'm saying? I was supposed to get off about 30 minutes ago. You see what
No,
I'm saying? But
go on, stay on another hour.
this the guy that
He
this
got to take
the
his
guy.
kids somewhere. Them
No,
boy.
no, no, no,
We
no,
gotta
no,
let him
no.
go. We gotta let him
No,
go.
no, he's invested, brother. He's invested. I'm been
so
let me.
so
I done wrote some stuff down. I'm gonna say something else to keep him on here.
go ahead, big bro.
I ain't never seen Bill Duke in no dress.
Who?
Bill Duke.
Miss Doubtfire?
No, Bill Duke,
I don't know who that is.
a celebrated black actor, producer, executive producer. Uh, Bill Duke was the cop in Minister Society that said, "You know you fucked up, don't you?
Yeah.
You know you fucked up, don't you?" That's Bill
Yeah.
Duke. That's Bill
Hey,
Duke.
hey, but how many roles he didn't play like that?
He,
You see what
he's
I'm saying?
he's played multiple roles. So my initial my
I,
initial
how many
uh,
roles he played as that detective?
I mean, he's played multiple roles as a law enforcement officer. He also was a mercenary in Commando, who was trying to kill Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
Uh, he was a corporate businessman and scientist in Black Lightning. Um,
Oh man,
Yeah,
I gotta
that was
and
my
watch that.
series. That was my series. I
I
love Black
know
Light.
Yeah, I need
he
to watch that.
was the brother Abdullah in the movie I'm affiliated with him with initially, which was Car Wash. He played in Car Wash as Abdullah, the revolutionary brother.
But bruh, if you Google him right now, he gonna be pulled up as a detective.
Sure.
That's his role. If
So
you
there's a
Google him right now, he gonna be pulled up as a detective.
Okay,
That's what I'm saying.
I'm going to Google him and see what happens.
He gonna be
there's
a
a thing
detective.
there's a thing in acting called typecasting, right?
Absolutely.
And
That's
it
what I'm
has
saying.
Hold
so for
on.
certain roles, right, is going to happen. It really is.
Your
It is.
ceiling, your role. That's what I'm saying. As a black actor, that's what they put you in. That box.
But you used a very operative word there, which was they.
Who's
And
that?
and
That pronoun of they.
oh, he was also the gung ho sergeant in Predator that was the only
Yeah.
one that seen the predator and had the nuts to go after.
I
Right
got you.
there, in between
Yep.
those trees.
Yep. He did
The first nigga to die in the movie.
that.
The first brother to die in the movie. You see what I'm saying? You got that ceiling. You see what I'm saying?
Hey,
Y'all
hey,
listen to
dirt,
me at the
dirt.
end of this.
But dirt is correct. It says William Henry Duke Jr. is an American actor and film director known for his physically imposing frame. Duke works primarily in the action and crime drama genres, often as a character related to law enforcement.
That's your ceiling.
So if
Now,
go ahead.
no, you go ahead, James. Go ahead.
All I was gonna say is y'all knowing my actual stature outside of social media and seeing being with me face to face and knowing that I'm an actor, what type of role would I be able to best play?
You talking about you?
Yeah,
You?
What type of role would you be able to best play?
yeah. What could you see me playing? Who could
A,
you
a,
see me acting as?
shit, a crazy motherfucking sergeant hopping out of motherfucking Black Hawk with a
And it
with an
just
M16
Okay.
and
and it
You gotta
just
dirt.
get portrayed.
Dirt, dirt would be typecasted.
I'm be an angry ass hood nigga on the street. So, you know what I'm saying?
No, no, you would not be, brother. No. What you would
Like,
be is you would be how Tupac was in Poetic Justice, a hard-working brother who take care of his family and come home and make sure everybody all right.
nah,
That's
they
what
gonna
you.
portray me as Tupac and Juice. You see what I'm saying?
But you're not Tupac and Juice.
But that's the road. That's somebody gonna be like, I remember kicking it with him one night.
All right
And
then, Dirk. Will put me in the movie. Who I'm gonna be in the movie?
you gonna be in with Denzel or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Training day. I can see you in training day.
Well, who am I gonna be in Training Day?
You gonna be Denzel. That's gonna be
Shit.
your real character. That's the real. I'm too programmed for all you niggas. You see what I'm saying?
Why I couldn't get Daniel Kaluuya and Jesus and Judas and the Black Messiah? Why I couldn't get that?
Nah, bro. Nah.
That's for you just typecast me. You worse than Mr. Charlie. No.
We all just got typecast. We all just got typecast real quick.
Damn. I'm
all,
silly. Look. I
all
We
I'm
know.
saying
always
is I know
typecast.
Dirt, I know you got to go. I know you got to go. And all I'm saying is when it comes to Hollywood and it comes to actors, there's a lot of different things that the community don't take in consideration because there's not an exposure or experience to understand that thing.
Did you just say the media? Boy,
No,
you trying to keep me on. You trying to keep. Did you say the media?
I said that there it well, since I got to back up, the media will actually push us into a certain realm. But what I'm actually saying is there is a movement of expansion that we can be because we're not monolithic as a people. It's impossible for us to be. We're not monolithic. We're very vast in our experience, in our endeavors, and in our insertion into various different points of life, community, and society as a whole. However, there is a movement of propagation that keeps us sheltered into a specific thing in order to continue a narrative to be spun and woven about who we are. That's the truth of the situation.
And that's what I'm on. That's our narrative. That's our situation. We there.
But
Like I say, like you keep
and
thinking about outside, and you talk about me. You keep saying about them, and that's all you speaking about is them, the media, the you know what I'm saying, outside entities besides black folks in like what I was saying in like this realm of like media, like
but
actors.
that's not the ending point of what I've said, right? Remember, I also said
You know?
that this year our resources culminate $1.8 trillion that we give away instead of giving to each other.
But you still ain't so yeah, we still ain't spoke about who we get it away to. That's for another podcast, gentlemen. And
Yeah,
cause
you gotta go, man.
yeah,
You
y'all
got a
spoke
lot.
about Cadillacs and rims and all that. Black folks ain't doing that in 9 days. Black folks ain't going out buying rims and buying, you know what I'm saying? Black folks actually trying to get on the network. You know what I'm saying? They trying to grow and be. They trying to be entrepreneurs. This is what America is truly is becoming today. Entrepreneurship. If you,
Mm,
I could take goddamn me, I could take a hooker, goddamn me, to Vegas tomorrow and write it off as a business trip. If I got a company, you know, see what I'm saying? That's America. Black folks done tapped into that. Like, damn, I could do this. I could do this. I could do that. It's entrepreneurship. It's a new realm. So when you talk about we spending that $1 trillion on Cadillacs and shit, no, we ain't. We buying business. We buying, you know what I'm saying, event centers. We trying to grow. We trying to, you know what I'm saying. So that world you speak about, that was my grandma then when I was talking about the 87 them year 7 years of them coming together. But nowadays, black folks independent. We on our own. We trying to, you know what I'm saying. We scheming on each other. We trying to. It's a it's a whole different world and realm for us to gravitate and get that money. So that
yeah.
$1.7 trillion, what you saying that we gonna throw away? Nah, his brother sitting at home like I'm finna bring that hurt. You see what I'm saying? And I ain't gotta, I ain't gotta hustle like that. Oh, it's a whole different world, bro.
It is a
People
whole different world
people grinding and eating.
on two other different dimensions that we haven't expressed or explored that we probably should when it's an all male cast, right? Because I don't disagree with you entirely that yeah, we have sat back and said, hey, wait a minute, let me get some of this. But that leads me back to my previous point of that's not what's being advertised about who we are. That's the point. That's the issue. Once you sell a product, people will buy the product not because of how it performs, but because of the name. Nike ain't invented a new shoe in decades. Air Force Ones, Jordans were the last type of actual shoe that was invented. That shit came about when we were kids,
Yeah,
right? So once you sell people on something, the only thing you have to do is continue selling on that point. And that's what has been brought, that's what has been sold about the community is that we're a certain type of person, we're a certain type of thing.
that's what I told y'all.
That's all I'm saying.
That's what I told. No, but so when I say you throw a Taraji P out there, Taraji P can do whatever you want. She's not in no category. She's not in no. You see what I'm saying? You can't just put her in a category. Pay her worth. But her ceiling is so low because of she's in a box with the other black celebrities. It's black entertainment. It's black entertainment as
That
opposed to as
the
opposed to as opposed to entertainment. You see what I'm
but that
saying?
yeah, and
So they
that's the
put a they
problem.
so they put so that's what I'm telling y'all. They put a market on black entertainment as opposed to so when I told y'all
I
about the
agree. I
Cosby,
agree. I
so when I
agree.
Yeah,
told so when I told you about the Cosby versus the other black shows, Martin or whatever, that's that's still the same. But they took the Cosby and they marketed it as you know what I'm saying, entertainment and not black entertainment. You see what I'm
yeah,
saying? That's
yep.
why
And
other actors that's why other actors couldn't get paid because it's under a market of black entertainment as opposed to entertainment. That's why I say they was all these shows on NBC, on Fox and all these prime time. They prime time TV.
I
But they're
am
not
not
getting
disagreeing.
they're not getting the numbers that they but you know what I'm saying? You telling me Living Single don't get the same uh category as Seinfeld or Friends?
Again, like
Stop
again,
playing with me, bro. You see what
we
I'm saying? That's what I'm
I
telling y'all. Like, so we
I'm
have to take our
agreeing,
market somewhere else because we got to get that dollar.
but we don't have to take it anywhere else. We can bring it home, right? And that's I agree with everything you said.
Mhm.
Everything you said. No left or right parameters outside of the point of we haven't brought this home to us. And that's what my point was.
Now there are two gentlemen who are in prime position and who are structuring it so it comes back that way, right?
Mhm.
Byron Allen,
Yeah, yeah,
billionaire owner of the Weather Channel, he made a
Better
very
write his name down
strategic. Yeah,
because you keep
Byron
saying
Allen.
yeah.
all
Byron
right.
Allen made a strategic move and purchased the Weather Channel when everybody thought it was a flop, and it ended up making him a billionaire. He owns that network now. And you
Yep.
also have Mr. Perry, who is a billionaire, film producer, actor, has built his own. He got Tyler Perry Studios. So there are movements to corral this problem specifically in that arena, right? Because Byron Allen just did a speech at the Emmys that was very, very powerful. While you wrote his name down, Dirk, look for his Emmy speech. It was very. I'm talking about, man. It was. Cause, and matter of fact, you know what he did? He did what you would have done if you was him. He sat up and told all them powerful white executives at that dinner. He said, "Y'all full of shit," but he didn't say he didn't cuss. But he said, "We know what you're doing. Y'all
Right.
full of shit, and y'all been doing this to us for the longest." He said, "But no longer, cause we done pulled the wool from over our eyes. We can see you, and we know what you chumps doing. I want you to look at that speech, Dirk. You're gonna be so happy. You're gonna say, damn, sir, man, he checked." So bit by bit, we're moving in that direction. I think what James and I are talking about, which is why I wrote down what I wrote down, if families, excuse me, if relationship creates families, and if families create communities, and communities create neighborhoods, See where I'm going with this? And neighborhoods create society, right? On the relationship level and family level, we have to begin to insulate ourselves by investing in the community that we live in and gaining power from a real estate and political standpoint where we begin to control the economics and politics in our neighborhood from that particular standpoint. And
No, I
it's
understood
a
that.
guy, it's a guy in St. Louis, look him up, Justin Eidelberg. He is doing some very good work in that area. He has
In the
actually,
west side.
yeah, I was just there you go.
Yeah, he's trying to buy
A
up
personal friend of
trying to
mine.
buy up all
Yeah, personal friend of
the
mine.
the
Per,
vacant houses on the
per,
west side.
personal
But that's what I'm
friend
saying.
of mine.
That's yeah, okay. So
But
but
but that's what you have to do in order to insulate yourself so that your economic solidarity and your political solidarity will have a clear voice.
so look
Now
at the
it's
south side. Look at the south side. South side have been bought up. They renovated everything and everything. It's all white folks moving back in. That's what's
of
gonna happen to
course,
the west. That's what's
of
gonna happen to the
course,
west side.
yeah, okay. And
It's
you
all
know
white
why?
folks. So when we speak about the community, all the poverty that's in the community got to move out. You see what I'm
You know
saying? So it's not really fixing the community. It's moving the poverty out. You see what I'm saying? So it's not. It's
Again,
about a commonwealth. So it ended up being like an eminent domain type of situation
it,
almost.
it wasn't. It wasn't an eminent domain issue. That's not what it was. But again, the same thing that I teach my children on purpose. This is one of my life is I'm closer to death than what I am to life, right? And that's just something that I've realized and I've come to terms with, and I'm okay with that. But I have to make sure I leave my imprint with those that I can leave it with. The thing that I teach my children is that you define, if you understand the power in these words, please by all means do it. Define who you are and make people act accordingly. That's something that we have not done in our community in a while. We've allowed people to define who we are. So we have to go with their movement.
Man, no, it's okay. Yeah, it'd be so hard when, like I say, about like your partner buying up the community. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying eminent domain just because of the property value that's gonna be brought into that community. People not gonna be able to live in that community. You see what I'm saying? Them homes that's there. So when y'all speaking to me about like it's not eminent domain, that's what it end up being. Because some people can't afford that property value in that neighborhood.
That's
You see
not
what I'm
eminent
saying? So
domain.
it becomes
Eminent domain.
the
Eminent
eminent
domain is a different.
domain. I know the terms of eminent domain when you just come in, or you get them say you get them. I give you $300,000. You don't want to move out. We take it over. All right,
So
we
eminent
gave you
domain is it's a governmental movement that forces people to leave. That's different than what's happened in gentrification.
in
That
property
was
value.
coercion. Yeah, that was
No, no,
coercion.
no. That's the same. That's the same thing. That's the same thing that's going on in the community. So we looking at homes in my neighborhood, homes that were $80,000 back. You know what I'm saying back then, being sold for $300,000 now. You see what I'm saying?
But the federal government has not come in to St. Louis to say you have to move in order to make way for a highway system.
But
That's the difference.
oh, boy, you shitting me? Top Golf just got. Hey, see, so you not here. So
That's
you not
capitalism. That's capitalism, and it's also the inability of our
still all
community
part of
to
it. It's all
find.
part of, but it's all part of the same system. I'm saying it's all the government system. So you talk about uh, we talk about monopoly, we talk about capitalism, we talk about gentrification. What are we saying? We saying the same shit. We
It's
saying the
it's not.
same shit.
It's
Okay,
not. It really
we
isn't.
think of gentrification
Use-
as a part of just a different community moving in.
No.
But
So
so
the difference
go
is,
ahead.
again, terms and definitions are very important, especially when you express a legal movement of action, right? So
Legal law. It's all
Yeah,
government. That's what I'm getting to you. Go ahead.
it's not all government because federal and state laws are different and they differentiate between how they can enact a certain power on a people. And what St. Louis or what Missouri state government has not done has said in South St. Louis, you have to move just because we want to make a roadway. The federal government hasn't gone into South St. Louis and said you need to move because we have to make a roadway. However,
That's what you do. That's what you do to me.
no, no,
That's
no.
what you do to me.
I'm saying that. I'm saying that because we got to be careful with how we express these things, right? I'm just as frustrated about this shit as you are. However, there is a various different. If you understand the terms and definitions, you can interact with these things in a different fashion. That's the truth of it, and that becomes that's a movement of understanding what's being done. Now, coercion is a different thing. The coercion portion of it is you're on Section 8, I control you, so now you got to move. That's coercion. That's different.
So you going technical. So any technical term you bring to me on how they force somebody to move out of or how they do it, it's still part of a government institution. It's still part of a movement. It's still part of something we can't control. You see what I'm saying? So
Yes,
like I say, Slew coming and Slew got the dollars that make sense. They gonna buy everything. They in collusion with Wash U, so they gonna buy everything that freaking they want to. You see what I'm saying? So they done moved in the neighborhood. So like, not just like like rent houses. They rent houses to students. So outside of renting houses to students, that makes the value in the whole neighborhood go up. So people coming in trying to buy or rent in the neighborhood, it skyrocketed just because of the market that they have. That's what I'm saying.
yeah, and I
So
agree with you.
so gentrification, you know what I'm saying? They come in, they buy property. Like we take Shaw neighborhood. We lived in Shaw all our lives. Now all of a sudden, Shaw is historic. It's a historic neighborhood. You can't change nothing. You can't change nothing about nothing, anything.
Yeah,
So the property value then went up. So what that do to the people that was living in the neighborhood? You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. So everything affects the everyday folk that live in the community. You see what I'm saying? Besides,
yeah.
dollar makes sense, and the dollar gonna always push an agenda and the issue on the community. So when we push our dollar and do what we need to do, it's always, you know what I'm saying? We can come together. I agree with you. We need to do that, but it's so much more pushed on and weight on our shoulder and forced on us that it's like that movement is you gotta make the best move for your family. You see
That's
what I'm saying? As opposed to the community, as opposed to the world. I mean not the world, but your
the
community.
the environment on where you stay, and so
Yeah.
I
You gotta make that dollar make sense at that day. You see what I'm saying? That's what the
yeah.
world is today.
The book by Sun Tzu, The Art of War, is such an important read or audiobook for
I
our
would do.
people in these situations. And it's because we don't have a basic understanding, a foundational understanding of the grand scheme of a war. The only way that wars are won is by winning different battles. The only way that battles are won is by understanding the what's called and defined as the operational environment. The only way those operational environments are won is by placing and investing in confidence and resources in the soldier. And when
Love ya.
I
I gotta
got
go.
you. We got to
Love ya.
continue this later on, because that,
No,
yeah,
no, hold on. Let me bring something else up so Dirk can stay.
I gotta go. Love ya.
Damn.
I'm still here, big bro. I'm still here. We can keep going.
No, no, I'm talking about Dirk. I was trying to find
Yeah,
something that's so you.
He
we
got to go.
got that other.
Hey,
I gotta
hey,
go.
kids, you got to get, you got to get it, Cuzzo. You got
All
to.
Yeah,
right.
I heard they gonna burn down Bevo Mill. No, I
Great
just said it.
conversation. I'm not listening. Oh man.
Go ahead, big bro. What was you about to say to Dirk?
Nothing. I was just being silly, but what I will hop back on is the ability to be a provocateur, right? Through social media, through literature, film, poetry, and so forth. It's very important uh, because it's the poets and the provocateurs, such as yourself on this program, they have um, a direct feed into the pulse of the life of the person, and these platforms are so important so that we can begin to try to turn the tide of, like you said, this programming that we have been um, cursed with, right? That we practice oh so well. Where like we were talking about earlier, we've monetized uh, relationships, time in relationships. Everything is beginning to circle around back towards it being attached to some type of dollar amount, which is why I'm glad when I asked Wanda about the poem that she received, how did it make you feel? Because that was something that was created to connect with the internal person. She said it was nice. Now, see, that was something that can be bought. You can't buy that to be able to evoke that type of response in a human. And those are the areas and the things that are very important for us to focus on in the context in terms of relationships, how we were talking about them. So platforms like this that begin to offer more organic and equitable ways of seeing the relationship, because that's what it's about. It's about
Yeah.
each person having an equitable voice, equitable participation. Now, mind you, I'm saying this all with the pretense of that you're dealing with somebody who's striving to be a whole person, who wants to be transparent
Yeah.
and is mature and evolved and don't put their hands on people and et cetera, et cetera. Uh, but these more organic uh, approaches and creations to human relationships, are needed. And it is only through platforms like this and the poetry that we write and the opportunities we get to offer uh, the correct frequency, if you will. Because that's what it's about, this frequency
Yeah.
that the universe that you tune into that allows you to be able to see at least the harmony. It won't remove the situational nuances that occur in relationships because you're going to disagree, so on and so forth.
Right.
But
Right.
if you can cultivate and create an atmosphere, a harmonious atmosphere, where I was talking about earlier, where you get into uh, identifying each other's, what's the word I want to use? Identifying the paramount similarities and the solution and the time invested to take from the experience, becoming a better human being moving forward, so that you carry this positive, successful, uh, evolving that you're going through into the next challenge.
Mm.
That's what it's about, taking this evolved, mature experience into the next challenge, so that the next challenge will not be as challenging as the previous one. Because the
Absolutely.
more evolved and mature you become, the less these growing pains stings. And what I mean by that, and I'm gonna shut up. My sister told me when she had my first nephew, she said, woo, woo. But she said, because I had Boot, I was prepared when Cameron came. I knew what to expect,
Mm.
which kind of lessened the sting and all the other things that she experienced her initial entrance into motherhood. So I'm just simply saying when we take these mature and evolved levels of thinking and being and acting, or excuse me, levels of thinking and being, and these levels of action into our next experience, they won't, we will be able to meet the challenge, and they won't have as much sting and or negative influence on our development together as men and women. Because see, I'm dedicated to the organic development and creation relationship. Like I say, I don't do no online. I'm not typing to nobody, right? I want to meet somebody in the library, at the grocery store, at a highfalutin political function, some of the political functions I go to. I'm not
Yeah,
getting on no line talking about let's create a relationship. I be watching some of these programs like Catfish, people be in relationships 5 or 6 years and they never seen each other over the computer. Get out of here.
yeah, that's weird. That's
Get out of
weird.
here.
I can't. I wouldn't be able to do it.
I'm old fashioned. I need to stand outside your window at a decent time of the day without getting shot and serenade you on my guitar, leave a rose on the front porch.
Well, even with that, big bro, I need to be able to open the door for you
Right,
so that I
right,
can make sure you understand it's safe to come out
right,
of where you are.
right. I need to go hiking with you so that I
Yeah,
can see your temperament when you get tired, how you navigate challenges on the terrain, how your temperament is with locating, identifying, and finding,
absolutely.
our way through this particular activity. See, I want strategic, organic experiences so I can get to know the person. See, you being able to spend money is a reflection of your profession and what you do. That's not a true or clear definition and picture for me,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
So
I've often told people that if you want to begin to reevaluate some things in life, describe to me who you are without mentioning your profession.
thank you.
And that there's a ridiculous amount of people who cannot disassociate themselves with their
Well,
profession
what they do.
because they've assimilated, they've digested that their profession is an expression of themselves, and it's not. And that message has been lost, and it's a continuation of losing it to the point that people will fight for a corporation before they fight for their neighbor. And that's an issue. That's a principal issue in America that crosses all racial boundaries. That you will fight for to identify with your profession than what you will to actually be able to express who you are outside of what you do to make this fiat dollar. And it's sad and it's scary. And my whole aim is to make sure there's a small remnant, even if it's just with my kids, my bonus babies, that will say, no, I'm a teacher, but that's not who I am.
Right,
Right?
right. That's
If,
not
if,
right.
if I have to express or explain who I am, I'm a musician, I'm a cook, I'm a dad, I'm a brother, I am
Right,
a lover, I'm in love with somebody, somebody's in love with me. I'm human at the end of the day.
right, right,
Versus, but what do you do for a living? Well, I'm a soldier. I've been doing this for 20 plus years and
right.
I expect to try and retire during this time. And this is how I make my means in order to pay these bills. But that's not who I am.
I am.
That's not the
Right.
sum total of who I am. And I think people have
Exactly.
forgotten that.
Exactly. Exactly. You know, our moral compasses and our core values and how we operate, you know, based on those things, determine, the 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 polarity of your character. And I know, see,
Yeah.
by we had a unique experience by being, at school, living together,
Hmm.
having to occupy the same space, be transparent and real with one another, because any type of fraudulent fakeness would have disrupted not only our, our college life or going to school, but it would have caused turbulence between us as humans,
Absolutely.
and we were able to identify that early,
Yep.
right? And mind you, we had just, both of us made an internal decision to change our, or to add to our character in a way that we both knew was for the better,
Yeah.
regardless of what it was attached to. The principles that were involved in our development never changed, because see, you can take the words love, loyalty, commitment, respect, and give them to any religious person in the world, and they'll know what you're talking about. They can identify with that from a level of principle. So as we were maturing and we began to see what we needed to see in order to separate the popcorn from the box, because we see, when every time you go to the movies, I've never ate the box. I've always
Right.
ate the popcorn, right?
Right.
So we were able to see that and separate the principles and recognize that what this transformation that we was going through was a real one, and we were able to tap into that, utilize it, and create. We took our time, invested our time. Time was its own reward, which gave us time, right?
Absolutely.
And we were able
Yeah.
to extract the best out of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Absolutely. I agree with you 100%. We've been on for almost 3 hours, big bro.
for
3
real,
hours. I think this is our longest lasting live that we've done, and I like. So we have the foundational platform to where it's an hour and some change, but
right,
what I'm going to commit to this platform, and not just the platform but the viewers, because it's not just about me and what I get, but it's about everybody.
right,
It's
right,
about everybody. Is I will dedicate time to these extra portions of conversation that need to be had, to that peel the onion back and go just a little deeper into where we are and what we're talking about. For the first hour, it's surface stuff, right?
right,
It's we're identifying where we disagree, and we're getting initial points of um, pushback, but it's the additional time that we spend to where we can get to the crux of what we're trying to express and
right,
what
right,
we want to get pushed out. So I'm
right.
going to dedicate this time. I'll give it 3 hours, and tonight we're at 2:52, almost 2 hours and 53 minutes.
Great day, right, right.
Yeah, and I think it's great. I think it's needed, and I think it's worth the investment.
Yeah, yeah,
It's worth the
absolutely.
investment.
Like when I called you apart from the platform, and I said, because we were talking about Color Purple,
Yeah,
and how, um, it never seems to be a point of conversation of the transformation of Mister's character later on, when he had whatever awakening he had and realization he had, where he went and got those letters, took the money down to the because now I can get fly, I can get arrogant now, to
all
the
day.
U.S. in the movie, to the U.S. Naturalization and Immigration Board, which is where Mister went in order to get Ceely's kids back
Yep.
over to America. Right? Nobody ever talks about that, and in spite of the fact of who he previously was, which I didn't agree with, right? Um, in spite of the fact of who he previously was, that seems to follow him, and he has been, labeled. He was unable, in some persons' mind, some persons specifically than others, was never able to break out of who he was previously into who he had become.
Right.
Because if you look at the movie, by this time he was an old man sitting on the porch, who had a collection of life experiences that over time, within his own self, he had come to some conclusion that they may not have been the best choices and decisions. And and I'm gonna say this and be quiet. One thing that's wrong with this society is that social media and access to information only creates a false sense of maturity. It creates a false sense of inclusion and belonging because it's
Mhm.
only information. You and I know what makes information uh, valuable, which is the same difference between intellect and wisdom. Intellect is a collection of things I know. Wisdom is utilizing what I know.
It's that practical
It's the
application.
practical application, right? So, you know, with this dynamic that had occurred with Mr. in the Color Purple, and the reason why I'm talking about it is because all too often movies like The Color Purple, Waiting to Exhale, these
Yeah.
things are touted up as the normal trope that occurs. And what I'm saying is, while things like that do happen, right, in contrast to the time frame in which Color Purple was supposed to have been shot in, you have right on the other side of the country, not too far from, because believe Color Purple was in Georgia, was
Yeah.
set in
It was in
Georgia,
Georgia. Yeah.
right across the way in Florida during that same time period. And Color Purple was a fictional story about real situations. Rosewood was happening, which
All
was
day.
a movie based on based on an actual occurrence. We seen the brother in that movie attend to and adhere to beliefs and practices that were pleasant to the woman that he was pursuing. So you have these two contrasting existences happening at the same time. And what I'm saying is that both of them are real, right? So both of them should be vindicated. The truth of what happened in The Color Purple, because see, my heart goes out to any sister who would have to endure a situation in a circumstance like that. And unfortunately, some of it was self created by the human frailty that we possess. Other parts of it was engineered and designed based on the society and the time that they lived in as
Right.
well. You
Right.
know. So when we start to try to connect to tropes and information based on an emotional platitude, what happens is we only extract from it what identifies with how we feel about the subject.
Hmm.
And what we learned in college was, and we used to talk about, was this concept called perceptional slavery, where if we
Yeah.
have a picture and I only look at a corner of the picture, that's all that I can talk about. That's the only place where my experience is. But if
Right.
I look at the entirety of the picture, whenever you begin to discuss any part of what's in that frame, I will be able to identify with it and um, connect with you on it, as opposed to this one little small piece in the corner that is very limiting, because I refuse to look at everything outside of my little safe
Yeah.
corner that I'm familiar with and I identify uh, with.
That's
So
like taking the Earth compared to the Milky Way in comparison to the galaxy in comparison to the universe.
universe,
Right. What you it's easy for us as humans to see the Earth as the zenith of creation when we don't take into account everything else that comes outside of that. And when we simply stop at Earth being the zenith, we've missed eons of information that are at our fingertips, at our disposal to actually progress us through that and understand that whoa, the Earth is not the zenith of the it's not the zenith or the paradox of what actually is.
is
Simply
exactly
a point. That's
exactly
all it is.
is a
And I
point.
Yeah, I can appreciate that point, but let's move further. That's the same thing with taking accountability. Accountability is only good to a point. When you don't act after accountability, that's what matters. Because accountability is taking into account everything that happened previously, right? But the continuation of that is what matters. Yes, I can take into accountability what I've done, but judge me on the actions that I'll continue to progress in.
Exactly.
Don't simply
Exactly.
judge the earth just because you're on this plane. Let's look at the universe so that we can
Right.
continue in this aspiration of influence, integrity, and knowledge and wisdom. There's a continuation of a point, and that's not just simply with those topics, but that's in everything.
And
When we stop at these particular points, we are not allowing a congruent fluid motion,
motion. Right.
information, knowledge, and wisdom and action at the end of the day.
I'm glad you brought that up because even now in the okay, because I want to be slick when I say it, in the relationship zone, there are those people who are touting accountability as if it is the zenith
Yes,
of a relationship, when in reality, based on what you just said, which is really true, that is only the beginning.
absolutely.
So me being accountable with people, you need to be more accountable. And men to my women, you need to be more accountable. Women telling me, y'all need to be more accountable. That is true. But it's what I do after accountability that really, really matters. Have I taken into consideration and, for lack of a better word, no pun intended, account what I've done that would transform me? Again, we connect in our conversation, would transform me into a better human being so that I can take this person into the next challenge, right? So I can take this level of growth into the next situation and circumstances. Because the danger at limiting ourselves, and like you were saying, by identifying Earth as the zenith, the danger of that is human beings operate to the level of their understanding. If we've only stopped at Earth, or we've thought that the pinnacle of all that there is Earth, right? We we have participated in our own retardation or stunting of our awareness and growth of who we could be as people. And the same goes to say in relationships. So accountability is definitely a healthy, wholesome starting point for any two people to engage in. But it's not the zenith. That's not like, oh, because my girl accountable, my man accountable, I don't have to worry about nothing else after that. No, that is a beginning. But
Yeah,
even if we can't get to that beginning because it's such an important beginning, and um, different people refuse to be accountable for different reasons. Some of it is um, biologically progressive. What do I mean by biologically progressive? What I mean simply when I say that is that as we have developed as individuals, as people over time, and have repeated patterns and habits, right? That for some of us, this inability to not be accountable is biologically progressive. We have carried these habits so further into our development, but that is how we think it is supposed to be.
right.
Uh, then you have some people who I'd like to, you know, believe who have a what's the word? To keep it simple, a spiritual disposition, which means that who I am as an individual is malleable and flexible to the point that even though I believe one thing, if you prove that my belief can can evolve or mature past what I believe, now I will leave this belief and I will begin journeying towards this belief.
Right.
You know, I'm
Right.
spiritually, I have a spiritual disposition. I can be spiritually disposed to that which makes the most sense in practice, uh, in promotion, and in everyday living.
Yeah.
So but
It's absolutely a progression.
yeah,
It's
nah.
that's
I ain't nobody, I just over these few minutes I've been living on the planet.
you are somebody. We are all
Well,
somebody.
right. No, in that sense, no question. But yeah, I miss these late night talks
Right.
because we used to
Yeah.
have 1,000 of them.
That's what I was about to say. And I hope that I'm wrong in this, but what I think is, and I could be totally off. A lot of people haven't had these late night conversations. Like when we was in our dorm room and it was just me and you, we were able to have conversations that were literally ground shaking and life changing,
That's
and
right.
it progressive. And it wasn't to a point of to make us feel better. It was a point of evolution for both of us
Right.
to progress further than where we are or where we were just from that point, well, from the morning to the point to where we were.
You were the very first person, and of course, I mean this in the most respectful and strictest sense. You were the first man that I was able to completely bare my soul to with no fear of judgment or ridicule or persecution. And
Mm,
the effect that it had on me developing into a better man has been incalculable,
wow.
right?
I
And
appreciate that. I
yeah,
appreciate that.
absolutely, because that's what we did. We dispensed with all pretense
We did. Yeah.
of who we thought we was and who we was to the world, and we became real. We let our guards all the way down. We took wrecking
Yeah.
balls and destroyed them walls
Yep.
and all that, and we were able to bear our souls to one another. And unbeknownst to us at that time, which we would learn later, unbeknownst to us, the universe was allowing us, was unlocking uh, um, a stage of our development so we wouldn't be stifled
Yeah.
as the men we are now. Had we not have had that, and I know, there were other multiple, situations where we were able to do that as well, apart from each other. But I'm talking about when we had opportunity to do that for one another. The universe was preparing us and allowing us to see what type of men we needed to be and should be in order to be who we are today. And and I have been able to, with the few relationships that I have been in. And just in case anybody's viewing, I want everybody to know I'm such a picky person when it comes to that area in my life, especially now. Right? I have a 12-year-old son. I just turned 52. You do the math of how old I was when I had my first child. I don't have kids strewn all across the United
Right.
States. And
Right.
I said that to say that with the few relationships I had been in, those that I knew were sent to me for me to develop and mature into a better human being, to evolve into a better human being, I took those opportunities to do the same thing, to be transparent, to bear all who I was, because I knew that the benefit would be that the time I invested in time would give me back the time that I needed to develop into a better human being. That's why your current situation, if that person knew how many times we would talk and talk
Oh,
and talk,
man.
and I knew,
Bruh.
oh, I knew that somewhere along the journey, that blessing was gonna reappear. I already know. I knew it. I said, yeah. I said, cause I ain't this guy here, man. I said, I don't know what this girl did to James. I said, but god dang. I said, I don't know what. I said, but if he love it, I'm in love with it, and I'm down for him. So,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. I told her I don't know how much she believed me, but I was like, hey, me and sir used to talk about you. This. So us being back together is no small thing. It's no small thing. It's a huge,
Whoa.
huge
My
situation.
my mind is blown. That's how I know that the power of manifestation and visualization and realization
Yeah,
is real, right? Even in my life. See, for those that may not know, James know me, I'm such a I believe I'm a good human being, but I'm such a curmudgeon, cranky, I'm a skeptical, cranky person because I value who I am inside. I value the fragility
yeah,
of who I am as an
yeah,
individual that I
yeah.
just can't give that away to anybody. Because there's a flip side too, right? To my stuff. I love and engage myself so hard that any unwholesome act would set me off. That don't mean I'm gonna come over nobody's house and shoot up the house and all that. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is I have to protect that level of intensity that I bring to that arena.
Because
But
it's worth something.
it's worth
It's
something.
worth something.
And I knew then when we would talk about your current, I said, man, I used to be saying to myself, I say, what? I said, goddamn, every time she walk, gold, gold must shoot out her toenails or something. But
was
what, whatever it is, you knew then, and when
yeah,
y'all had, and when y'all were allowed to be apart, only to be destined to come back together. So that's real destiny,
right.
real stuff that's a part of a destiny vibe, right? That thing, that man, is beautiful.
Oh,
That
I
thing,
agree.
that was a beautiful thing. When you told me that, man, I could have jumped through the roof.
Big bruh. Again, I've expressed it to a few times that
I'm trying to
we
tell
was
you.
in college, we would talk about that. Even Travis expressed it once when he met her. Like the first time he met her, he was like, "Oh my. Oh. Yeah, that's who you was talking about." And I was like, "Yeah, yeah." And he was like, "Oh wow."
See, you knew something everybody else didn't, and it wasn't for us to know. We was just happy you knew. You was
Right,
like, hey, you was like, sir, I
right.
don't care what happens or what's going on. This is her. I was like, okay, I got it.
Yeah.
I got
You
it. And
know,
I'm being patient because
right.
I know it's coming for me. I refuse to frustrate that process.
Yeah. And not understanding the journey that I had to take in order for us, not just the journey I had to take, but the journey that she was on
Right.
also, in order for us to be able to come back into synchronicity to where we are.
Right.
It
Exactly.
it the movement of it is such a universal poem, like we were talking about earlier, poetry. It's such a universal poem that it's impossible for me to actually capture in words. It's
Yeah.
impossible.
It's impossible.
It's literally an expression, a showing of how I can feel when I'm with her. It really,
Words would cheapen
yeah,
and take away from that. Some things that don't need to be put into any form or medium because it
yeah,
would really, really lessen and cheapen it. Um,
abs-
but yeah, man, yeah. I need to
it was.
get me. I was looking online. I need to get me one of them microphones for my computer because I'm thinking about doing some voiceover reading for Amazon books.
Hey, so give me. I'm gonna sleep this hangover off, but I'll give you a shot when I wake up, so we can look into that. I might have a few things to help you with that.
Cool. That's
Yeah,
what's
I
up.
might have a few things to help you with that. So,
That's what's happening. What you mean, hangover? Ain't you got to go to sleep and wake up to be hungover, or you talking about you got one now?
oh, I know what's gonna happen. I know it's. Hey, I'm a professional at this. This ain't gonna catch me off guard. I know how to move in it, and I'm gonna be okay. I chose to do this, and I'm all right with it.
Oh, I know you got it. I know you got it.
Yeah,
I know it.
yeah. But big bro, I definitely appreciate you for hanging out.
No problem. Thank
The
y'all for
bloodline.
having me.
I was always, baby. It's hey, this family. This how we move. This how we got to get down. And even if nobody wants to say it, you know, we've got to push it out there, regardless
Right,
of
right.
how people feel. So yeah, big bro, I appreciate you. And I'm finna click off of this and end
Okay
these
now.
live. So hey, I'll talk to you in a few hours when I hop up, and we'll continue that conversation of
Yeah,
what
that's what's up. That's what's up.
I got you. I got
All
you.
right.
So hey, good night, big bro. I love you, man.
Good night. Love you too. Enjoy the rest of your morning.
All right, you too.
All right.